Boring podcast.
That's a lot of podcast right there. So it should
Falling
be.
asleep.
Yeah.
We'll have naps.
Guests are taking naps, and in between.
We'll have hammocks set up in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, actually, I like the idea. I like hammocks.
Mm-hmm. So, all right.
Yeah, I won't mention that because we're not doing that consistently enough for it to be something to mention.
What, setting up hammocks?
No, the podcast. You're asking me about the podcast.
Okay. No,
I'll go to Lowe's right now. You guys just hang on. Let me get the hammock.
that'll be
Lowe's. Ugh, Lowe's sucks.
Small neighborhood problems.
Now, how can we view it? It should be. I should be able to just close this and open it up on my own thing. Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna burn through my water. Oh, I got plenty on the side there.
I stocked up ahead of time just to make sure.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to read the chat. Should anyone be there? Look, I'm almost at 700 subscribers.
Nice.
I'm almost at 30.
30 subscribers. Can you guys find my live stream anywhere?
Yeah.
Me.
Showing on YouTube?
Well, normally if I had my phone on, I would get a notification, but let me pop on there. Go to my subscriptions.
Why aren't you? Oh, there you are.
Yeah. There we are.
Hey, and guess what? I see myself.
Oh no!
That's awesome.
Send me a link to that.
Yeah, let me throw it in here.
For some reason, I'm not seeing it myself.
There you go.
Where is it showing up under?
There should be a flashing chat icon thing on the left side,
shit.
but I can throw it on your DM on Twitter too, if that works.
So broadcast. Okay. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll get a tweet ready too.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
I'm
I've
doing
got
that
it.
as well. Maybe we can actually get some people watching.
I just said test in the chat. Does that show up? Can we see that that text in Hangouts? We have group chat, but can we get the chat here as well?
They're separate, but
That sucks.
open multiple windows.
In the criminal justice system, there are two.
All right. Yep. All right. That's good. I've got that link, so I'm going to set that out to the Twitters, and then we are good to go. And I'm recording the audio for the podcast, audio-only podcast. Good. Someone's talking about Dollarama on Twitter. You get an instant like.
Ooh, Dollarama.
I love Dollarama.
So if I can pop out the chat and then close that window, that'll.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay.
Caps. Imagine that. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got that too. Good. Get your tweets out. Oh god.
Oh, god.
Wait. Just gotta retweet your tweet. There we go.
Too lazy to do my own.
I just did my own. Alright. This is episode 14.
Oh, shit.
What?
I gotta
What is
retweet
this?
for you.
Oh no. This show never starts on time. I don't think any of them ever do though. That's how you know you're having fun. Hopefully.
Or high.
That's kites. Okay, so that's recording. We don't need to look at that. Hangouts is going. I don't need to look at that. Everyone else does. And I'm going to leave it open on the show planner. Alright, everyone ready to go?
Yep.
Perhaps.
Alright, well then the music plays and... yeah. Yeah, nothing like a roll of toilet paper to keep you. There you go. It's cold up.
So you have something to eat?
Hey. That's why he's odd. Greetings, friends. Steven here, and welcome to episode 14 of the Capmax Hypecast. We're back. When did we record our last episode? What was that, like September or something? Maybe September,
Yeah, I think so.
October?
When I listened to it, that's what I saw.
Okay. I have it open. It was uploaded on December 8th. But, yeah, mid-September. Okay, that's fine. So we got a wee bit of catching up to do, so let's see. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Kwanzaa.
and Crazy Kwanzaa, and Spooky Halloween.
And horrific Hanukkah.
Sure, we could throw that one in there too. Respect your veterans and remember poppies, and is that about it?
I think you covered it.
Oh, yeah, Happy New Year. It's 2016 now.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Could be the first podcast of the year, probably not. But yeah, we're back, everyone. Thank you for listening to our latest episode of the Capmax Hypecast. So I had some guests today. Let's get to know them a bit better. Let me just open. Okay. Oh, by the way, we are using Google Docs to share the same show planner. It's awesome. I don't know why we haven't been doing that in earlier episodes. We can make changes and everyone sees what you're doing and all that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I like this. All right, so we've got Steven, of course, myself, and Matt and Kyle. So we'll start with Matt. Matt, tell us a bit about yourself and your YouTube channel, if you would.
Yeah, I play video games, and yeah, I started a YouTube channel a while ago, and just started adding, different video game related videos on it, and not with much dedication or fervor, is that a word? Yeah, so I kind of grew a following there, and did a little bit of Twitch streaming, and then moved my audience back onto YouTube when they started doing the live streaming stuff there. So if you just look up Cricket, Krikit, you'll find me on there.
Hold on, slow that one down. Now, it's pronounced cricket, like the insect, but spell it out again for the people.
Krikit. Because I made that name way back in the 90s and thought it was super cool, and then ended up registering the domain, when the internet was new and everything, and I just sort of kept that moniker with me. Anytime there was something where you could register your username, that's what I would pop in, and there's no significance really to it, but
it was just 90s badassdom.
Yep, just a teenager in the 90s thinking I'm cool, and then
there you go.
Yeah,
I'm still there.
Right, arguably the height of coolness, the early 90s.
Yeah, so
Tiny Toon Adventures would always go on about that.
Yeah.
They were big about the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh man, Tiny Toon Adventures.
Mm.
Man,
Right?
yeah, I've got a couple of those seasons on DVD. Yeah, it's a good show.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of my jig, I guess. And more recently, I had actually, I'm one of the bad guys. I did start an eBay business and eventually quit my job working for a bank in the IT department for them, and I now work in my garage selling in repairing and resurfacing disc-based video games and stuff like that too. But I won't plug any of that stuff. But
no, you're welcome to.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Websites,
It's fine.
whatever.
No. That's no need to do that. But yeah. So I have this weird background in that now, doing that kind of stuff with selling online, which is interesting. But
Right.
yeah.
All right, well, of course, we'll have all of our guests' information, contact stuff over on the Podomatic webpage where the Capmax Hypecast is currently hosted. If anyone out there, by the way, wants to help us with keeping our old episodes up, let me know, please. Because they sort of just end up on my hard drive after a certain point where no one can hear them.
And then your hard drive dies.
No, we'll get to that. All right, well, that was the voice of Kyle, or Quatar. Is that right?
Quatar.
Quatar. So we got
actually, it doesn't really matter.
and Quatar.
Yeah.
All worked out. Kyle, explain who you are now, and tell us about your name. I'll let you guys know about my name as well if you're curious, but we'll get to me afterwards.
Well, I came up with my name back in high school, and it was, 90s awesomeness again. But we thought, my friends and I thought it would be funny to come up with a word that we could use to replace any other word. And then we all gave ourselves quite our titles. And
Isn't
I'm
that word
pretty sure...
Fucking fuck.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So we could swear in school.
Oh. It's like Smeg on Red Dwarf or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Exactly.
Slag from Transformers. Now that we mentioned it.
Ooh, Slag. That's a good one.
It's a good one too.
Yeah, and about 2 years ago, I had an accident, so I started messing around online and slowly starting up a YouTube channel and trying to Twitch between pain and suffering.
Great. Well,
the video games, the glue between pain and suffering.
Yeah, no, that's about right. That's about video games.
Yeah.
That sums it up.
Well, that's what makes it tolerable.
Yep.
See, I fell off the roof of a 4-story building.
Man.
And snapped my back and a bunch of other fun things.
Was that like a working incident?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Working at the time.
Ouch.
It's been 2 years. Haven't worked. Waiting for the government to pay for me to go back to school, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, that's good.
Which is why I have so much free time to sit around.
That works.
Show derailed. Oh. Silence. So we are also live streaming this over on my YouTube channel. So shout out to Lexi FM and Wolfgas, aka Aussie from Twitch. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. What do we got here? Everyone's doing good. Lexi says 2016 is the year of Alexis. Hashtag. And everyone says hi. Alright, cool. Alright. Anyone, Kyle or Matt, have anything else they want to mention that they may have forgotten? Twitter handles or Twitch channel names?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
good?
Sorry. I'm stepping on you. Sorry.
No, I actually just jumped. I just stepped on you. It's fine.
Well, we could just step on each other the entire time.
No, that'll happen. Trust me. That's one thing about having different guests all the time, is that everyone has to sort of learn to work with each other's flow and all that.
Yeah.
On that note, Steven has written Steven's Tangent on Organizing a Podcast. Let's go over that now for a bit. Man, now these two gentlemen have both talked about starting podcasts, but it's not easy getting these things together, is it?
No, it's a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's tough. And then if you're doing it consistently, sometimes depending on your life and what's happening with that, it can be really difficult to keep pushing forward. But most of the time, the problem is just getting people together. At least I've found. Yeah.
Wrangling everyone into one spot at one time, especially with different time zones. Now, I believe we're all on the West Coast, right?
Yeah. I am. Yeah.
Yeah, you're south of us, and I'm in the middle, and then up a bit is Kyle.
Yep.
Yeah, directions.
About 2 hours north of where Steve is.
But like the last episode, or this episode that we were going to record, we were actually going to do it on Christmas Day, because for whatever reason we thought that'd be a good idea.
Which it wasn't.
Yeah. Couldn't be any cause of that.
Celix was going to be on the episode, but I think he thought we were going to all do it in person, even though I told him that it was going to be done online. And we were waiting for him, Kyle and I, and it's like, well, where's Celix? We're all set up for recording, and he's not here. And eventually he texts me, and I don't know where he even was, but he's like, hey guys, what's going on? It's like, well, I told you we were going to organize everything on Twitter. Twitter's the best for that sort of thing. And it's like, oh.
What's Twitter?
Yeah, basically. And before that, I wanted, oh man, see, this is why I wrote it as Steven's Tangent. See, I was going to invite back Rattel from the Public Cocoon channel, because I know one of our topics for this episode was going to be spooky games, as I mentioned way back in September, because this is actually sort of the October episode, but it's also the January episode now. But I know he likes to do a lot of...
Jantober.
Pretty much. I know Rattel likes his spooky games, so I thought that'd be a good guest to have. And Celix also, who actually is a game dev, and he's sort of working on a semi-spooky game, so I thought he'd be good too, but Celix is, he has really random hours, so it's trickier with him.
Yeah.
And I think Rattel is on a vacation until, he should be back now, but I mean, forget it. Like, especially now as well. Vacations, this is vacation time.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's great that we were all able to finally get this together. and let's keep this show rolling. Now, we also have something else, a new segment that I've called Teven's Tales. Now, this is going to be the tale of the new hard disk drive. One of the reasons why I've got Kyle here is because now everyone here I know mostly from Twitter, and just back and forth chatting, whatever.
Yeah.
Kyle helped me to set up and diagnose my computer issues, what I was calling the cyber cancer. #cyber cancer. It all started one day. I turned the computer on as per usual, and I get the blue screen of death. And this was back in Windows 8.1 or something like that.
Yeah, and that was the problem right there. It was Windows 8.
There you go. Never. Did we ever figure out what the problem was? Like, why it did that? It just old hard drive.
Actually, you know what? I think it was software.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Like what software?
Windows.
Really? Come on.
I think a full wipe and reinstall would have fixed your problem, which is why I was pushing you towards the free upgrade to 10, because it's just more stable than 8.
I did do that, though, remember?
Yeah.
It still happened. And then I had a...
But you were doing an upgrade rather than a wipe and install.
Yeah. Man. Computers.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Ugh.
You should see all the crap I deal with.
Right? Just getting this podcast started on the Google Hangouts and all that stuff. Just ugh.
And then on the YouTubes and the interwebs and other technical HTTPS things.
The webcam wasn't working at first, and I shut it off and back on again. Anyways, too much whining. Let's get this show moving on. So long story short, a lot of figuring out what's going on. I had a friend of mine, local friend, come by, and we did some things in the BIOS, and I was able to get back into Windows for a little while, but the hard drive was definitely failing because everything was just running slower and slower.
2016, invention of new words here.
Man, they're inventing new words all the time off the internet. It's weird. You know, fleek was added to the dictionary, I think.
What the hell is a fleek?
Man.
I don't know.
Yeah. I do that to piss off my wife. I'm like, oh, that's on fleek, and
Right.
she gets all mad.
I've never heard this word before.
Don't learn it. It's not worth knowing.
It's like the kids' version of cool, I think.
Is this like bae?
No, bae is like your girlfriend.
Something you like or love. Yeah. But no, this is just like it's super rad or cool or tubular.
Something like that. It's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Totally non-heinous.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. On Twitter, someone was getting angry about something. Oh, there was this actually be a good topic, but I'm not going to add it. There was some crowd-source-funded show that's like Star Trek, but not.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And this guy on Twitter was angry, and he wasn't like, when you get to a tweet and it's like halfway down a rant of tweets and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's out of context.
Yeah, and he was just saying that he was really mad at something about Star Trek, and I come up with, what, did they change Starfleet to Starfleek for the kids?
So how many hours did you work on that one?
He's like, I don't know, let me ruminate.
There was something there, I just knew.
Get some wine out and think about the tweet for a little bit and be like, is this good enough?
Lexi in the chat says, I just say epic. That's a good one too.
Yeah, I like that one.
But I like going back to saying epic, leet, and there's another one. My brain just shut off. Sorry.
Yeah. I've got a coffee right here. Well, iced coffee. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so eventually I ended up buying on Amazon. I think it was. I bought a new hard drive, new terabyte, switched all that out, installed a fresh Windows 10. I bought one of these little disk thumb drive thingies so I could move the Windows 10 install over. And yeah, new hard drive working good. Computer's good to go, so thank you for your assistance with that, Kyle.
Except for Skype constantly crashing for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why Skype crashes, but that's a long-running story on this podcast, unfortunately. It was working fine yesterday, though. I was doing some online...
And it worked Christmas Day.
Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's the worst thing about it, because I can't figure out a pattern. Technology, man.
Science.
Yeah, we were saying I've got a haunted computer. That was back on Twitter again. I don't know. Anyways, I am Steven. Thank you, everyone, for joining in on this latest episode of the Capmax Hypecast. Episode 14, we are streaming live on my YouTube channel, or otherwise you might be listening to this purely audio over on Podomatic. You can check out my work over at Capmax Gaming. That's on YouTube. On Twitch, you can watch me play video games live. That's at Capmax_gaming. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Steven Eider. Steven with a V, EIDHER. Yeah. Alright, that about does it for our intros. Man, I love this community show planner here. It's so good. I keep seeing Kyle bounce around. I don't trust your little icon, Kyle. What have you got planned?
What? What icon? For where?
I can see where you're. You know, like.
Oh, I'm not doing nothing.
Someone was. I don't trust that guy with our community show plan. He's bouncing around. Oh, he's typing. He's doing weird stuff. All right. So now.
I'm typing naughty things into our Google Docs.
You type Gangnam Style. That is old. We don't talk about that anymore. Wasn't that like one of the biggest YouTube videos watched of all time?
It's so big that they built a statue of him.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, what else is Korea got going for?
Nothing else is coming out of South
They got
Korea.
StarCraft. They used to have Pump It Up. You guys ever play the DDR rhythm games?
I mean, the old arcade machines, yeah, I used to play those. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
No, those are good times back then. Now I don't know if they even exist anymore, but there was a Korean version of DDR called Pump It Up, and that was pretty neat. I enjoyed that back in the day.
Yeah.
It isn't really that long ago, but man, time keeps ticking.
Yeah.
2016, people, goddamn, it is the future. We have hoverboards and people falling off them. That's another interesting news story.
Catching fire.
That's not hovering. That's just it's got tires.
That's what I said. But there is that one that
Tires
came
are
out.
old.
It's a bunch of fans. I wouldn't really call it a hoverboard. It's more like, lame.
Like a hovercraft?
Nah, it's a
Tiny hovercraft.
board.
Just
board shaped.
Yeah.
Well, it's a craft, I guess, if you're on it and it's hovering. Hovercraft board. Hoverboard.
Are those? I mean, there's a lot of skateboarding laws in California and things like that. Are those legal to just have, like, go into a store with and stuff like that, or? Because to me, it's no different than just rolling into a store on a skateboard. Like, it's probably more dangerous, actually.
Yeah.
Like Lexi just said in chat, it's a Segway.
Yeah.
Out handles.
And I tell you what we need right now more than anything else is a Segway.
Yeah.
It's not a hoverboard. It's
Speaking of Segways.
Yeah. Speaking of Segways, what you been playing? What you been watching? Who wants to start this off? I've got mine up there, but if anyone else wants to go before me, Matt's got a nice looking list. Kyle, I don't see any list of yours. Do you have prepared what you've been playing and what you've been watching? And by all means, what you've been reading.
Well, I read a lot of technical crap that will bore the hell out of everybody. So, yeah, I won't go into that. Okay. Binding of Isaac is pretty much all I play, because it's just addictive as hell.
And you stream it up a lot, too.
Yeah. Fallout 4, I was hooked on that for like 3 weeks. As basically half the world. Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, Fallout, man, that's, I ended up buying 2 copies, one for myself, one for my wife, so we could play at the same time.
I wish I could get my wife to play games.
Yeah. I have the 2 TVs in the living room, and we were just playing it for like 2 weeks straight. And it was
nice.
A lot of good times. But
competing on who could get to where certain things faster.
Kind of. I end up just in any of those games, I just get completely lost. And with Fallout, it's got that like Minecraftian element to it. So I'm just every settlement, I'm like, I've got to build it up, and I'm trying to figure out how to make everything renewable, so I don't have to constantly I want to have it where I can just go there and get the stuff I need and then move on and
but and then setting up all your trade routes. And...
Yep, yeah, it just becomes this thing, and it's this beast. And I've stepped away from it, but I'm definitely going to come back to it. But
yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, I need to play some other games, and so I go back to Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
You know, I've never actually really played a Fallout. I'm that guy. I'm not saying that to be cool and hipster. I know people. That's a thing these days. It's like, oh, I haven't seen that Star Wars yet. Check me out, everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Did you know? I got a spoiler for Star Wars.
Oh no!
Nobody said anything about midichlorians.
Good.
dun, dun, dun.
Well, they didn't exist. Like it was like in the prequel, it was like, oh, we know everything that's going on. There's no magic. But then in the original trilogy, by that point, it's all sort of forgotten. But it doesn't seem like that big a leap between the two, is it?
Yeah.
And then you go back to the Old Republic,
like-
and there's no mention of it.
Yeah. Is there maybe 20 years between the prequels and the original trilogy? I'm just ballparking that out really.
Yeah, and the next one is 30 years.
Because I'm thinking Anakin was still maybe a teen when he falls in lava and lives somehow.
He was like 10.
No. And then he's like James Earl Jones age in
That would have been awesome if you
original
did it with
trilogy.
that child actor. That would have been just so so graphic. Like,
So-
horrible. Just this little kid. Like,
Now this
You
is
were the
fun.
yeah. You're the
Cutting
chosen
that
one.
kid's arms off. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Fallout, yeah. Totally missed out on that. I mean, there's time, hopefully. We had an earthquake here on the West Coast, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I was at Star Wars at the time.
Nice. Man, these seats, they're so...
It's so lifelike. I didn't pay for D-Box. What is this?
Just saying dick box. What? D-Box. Yeah, I've got Fallout New Vegas. I think I mentioned that in the last episode. I'm looking at it again. It's on my PS3 games shelf. Now it's funny because where did I put that at the bottom list. Now Matt came up with a couple extra questions should we need them, and he asked, "What is your Desert Island console?" Which is kind of creepy because over on the Cartridge Club, they've been going over this thing that they are calling the One Console Challenge, which is exactly the same thing. So
Oh, really?
someone started this question on the internet. It's just kind of... I said it was like a cancer on a tweet because I wanted to make a Soma reference that no one got. But we'll talk about Soma later. But, yeah, they've started this whole thing where they're all trying to play just one console for all year.
Oh.
Okay, PC.
Yeah.
They don't allow the PC for some reason. That would
Screw
make
you,
the
it's a
most
console.
sense. I know.
No,
It's not
that's... Man, I think a lot of people will be breaking that promise and not admitting it.
Yeah, I know one guy already broke the one console.
Well, does
Yeah.
Mac
a-
count as a console because, it sucks and it has no games?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't remember I brought that up now. I just derailed myself.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, well, good luck to anyone doing that contest. I would rather play whatever game I want that I have purchased with my money. But if you guys want to do that, by all means. Actually, I'm still in that contest because I've only played the 3DS since 2 days ago. 2 days ago.
But
yeah.
you're locked in and you didn't even know it. Now you either commit or you don't.
It's not on my list what I've been playing, but man, I can play Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and nothing else. I'd be pretty happy.
Hey, speaking of 3DS, I just saw this morning somebody installed Windows 95 on one.
What? Why? Why would anyone want this?
So you can play Jade Empire.
It's crazy. So they can play solitaire and play that pinball.
Minesweeper.
Yeah. Every time these kids mod something, they just play Super Mario World on it. Why? Why would you do this? It's like you have a PSP and then you play other games on it. Just like, there's PSP games you could play. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's so many other good ones as well.
I don't know.
Besides, I want to bring Mario wherever I want and not play it on a Nintendo console.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. All right. Was that it for your what you've been playing, what you've been watching, Kyle?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm pretty boring.
Okay, that's fair enough. Well, you're playing the cat lady again on stream again.
Yeah, and it pissed me the hell off too.
Well,
I
you
got
beat that,
to.
haven't you? Or you're not done it yet?
I've never beat it because every time I get into it, it crashes and I always forget to save.
Oh,
And if
it
you-
doesn't
it-
autosave?
Yeah, there is no autosave, so if you screw up a puzzle,
Yeah.
or your game crashes,
Mhm.
you start over at the beginning or wherever your last save was.
Uh,
And last night, I screwed up a puzzle, where you had to follow this woman, and if you didn't, and you went the other direction, she never came back, and I was wandering around for almost 2 hours trying to figure out why the hell I couldn't figure this stupid puzzle out.
Well, that's no good. Does it let you know that you could
No.
effectively ruin?
With no hint, nothing.
That sucks. Have you guys ever played Darkseid?
No.
For the PC?
No.
Old school game. Stars a guy, I believe his name Michael Dawson. It has H.R. Giger art in it.
Cool.
It's a point-and-click adventure game, old school, like King's Quest style, except it's...
I remember this one.
Yeah. That's what that reminds me of, because you've got 3 days of in-game time to play the game without having an alien creature come out of your head, and then you die.
Wow.
It's a point-and-click adventure game, so obviously you're going all over the place trying to figure out what to do. So imagine that, but with a time limit. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of with your cat lady discussion there. Nasty. Why would you do that to your game? That's just... It's mean. Mean game devs out there.
Yeah, it looks like the same art that the gentleman who did the aliens.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Geiger. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
Art?
HR. Yeah. For some reason, I thought you said Lovecraftian, but you said.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Not even close.
They do kind of all meld together, though.
Yeah, it's kind of the same vein, I guess.
Yeah, Darkseid. Hard-ass game. Pretty neat. Very spooky.
Yeah.
I'm actually ashamed we didn't mention it in our spooky game segment. But that's okay.
Yeah. I that would be perfect if they had the original artwork and stuff. That I could see that being ripe for doing a remaster of that, just because of his artwork and how influential he was, and that'd be really cool. Yeah, like high-res scans.
What about Harvester? Have you guys heard of that one?
It sounds familiar, but
You got Steam open. We're running off track here, but that's okay. I'm just gonna type this in. Harvester.
it's one of those ones that came out, and I never played it, but I have seen it.
Yeah, Harvester.
Like years and years.
62. Shit, I might as well buy that. Pretty good. Steam sale still going on, winter sale for a day.
Came out in '96. Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, Harvester.
It was one of the ones that were on the store shelves, but
yeah. Back in the giant PC box days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in Washington back then, and there was a store called Hastings, and you used to be able to rent PC games.
Nice. Those are the good old days.
Yeah, and that was one of the ones, and then they got shut down before I got a chance to try to get to that one.
It's like they wouldn't have to worry about people backing this stuff up because no one had CD burners yet.
I did. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, there you go. I remember the backing up of DVDs was always really exciting to me back in the day. It's like I can have this movie whenever I want it. I don't have to pay for it. Oh man.
Yeah.
Go to your radio store and just like a kid in a candy store. But yeah, back on point. Harvester. Yeah, these sort of weird ass like live action full motion videos. Guy walking around a weird town. Man,
Yeah.
these games had a certain style to them that's weird, spooky stuff.
Yeah, that FMV stuff is coming back too, which is really strange. But with like her story and stuff like that, it's really weird to kind of see that coming back.
This whole year has been all about, hey, remember when we used to be cool?
Yeah.
Remember games? They were cool once.
Yeah.
Remember games. Yeah, that her story. It seems really popular with the reviewer types. I heard it's just like a video editor, though. You're just watching interviews and then you put them in the right order or something. Is that accurate?
I don't know, honestly. I was confused because I know it's a detective thing, and it's like, well, how do you piece together is it pass fail? Is it like binary? Like you either do it right and you succeed, or is it sort of this open? You put together whether or not who done it kind of thing, and you don't really know the answer. Is it that kind of thing? Like it just seems really weird to tell a story that way, but. I'm interested in it, and I think it's like $3 on Steam, so But it's a quick play from what I understand. But the mechanics I don't know.
Oh man, I was watching over here on BC Electronic Playground or EPN, whatever they're calling themselves this time. They gave Best Mobile Game of 2015 to Her
They're
Story.
still around?
Not really. They're kind of off the air now.
Do they exist?
That beat out like games like Monster Hunter and Animal Crossing, etc., etc. All these actual handheld games. Like what? Her Story best handheld game? I hear it's done in like 2 hours or something.
Yeah.
Well, these other games, Animal Crossing or Monster Hunter as examples, are literally like endless games. You can play them forever.
Yeah, that's the thing about some of these, some of these more art-driven games, I guess you could say, is they're really one playthroughs.
Yeah.
And that's it. So it's kind of more of like an experience rather than where the gameplay is a thing that keeps you coming back,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The experience game. Actually, that's a good main topic for a future episode. Once again, back on Twitter, we were having a discussion whether or not games like Journey or Dear Esther or actual video games, or if they were just like walking simulators. Now, Journey, I would say, is definitely a video game. Dear Esther, it's more like you're walking through a screensaver.
I would say Fallout is a walking simulator.
Well, you do walk in it, but you walk in it every game.
You walk with purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking, blowing shit up, killing people for no reason, just so you can steal their hat.
Yep, yeah, gotta have that hat. Alright, let's get back on topic. Matt, tell us about what you've been playing and what you've been watching.
Yeah, right now what's taking my interest is primarily Colony Wars for the PS1.
I remember that game.
Yeah, so I've done one playthrough. It takes about an hour to play the game. If you're just going through the missions, because you can just continuously fail and you're still going to get to an ending. And so I did horribly on my first playthrough. The way that it's got like 17 different endings or whatever it is. So I'm going to go back through again and actually try to get the good ending. But yeah, I'm a failure as a space pilot in that game. But I love that era. I think Psygnosis, is that how you say the company name? I don't quite know how to pronounce it, but the stuff they made on the PS1 during that time, like G Police and the Wipeout series, I just love those games. And so going to Colony Wars, going to do a video on that, and then with the wife, I've been playing Banjo-Kazooie because we got the rare replay. So nice. we've been hitting up the alternating on levels on that game, and then 2 brains are better than 1 because I can't remember where everything is, and we end up finding pretty much all the secrets in our first go through. So almost done with that. A little bit of Shovel Knight, but then for my relaxing before I go to sleep kind of game is I've been playing a lot of Rainbow Moon on the Vita. Mm-hmm. And I that was one of those free ones a while back on the PSN stuff, and that's your SRPG. It kind of plays a little bit like Final Fantasy Tactics, but it's more committal. Like Tactics is always like you're gonna make a move, and it's like, are you sure? That kind of thing. And this is much faster paced, but it's got that same the grid and. You get multiple people in your party. One of the cool things is you can get more turns as you level. So in a single move, you can do multiple steps over time once you start to level. But one of the interesting things that it does is you can set like a grind meter basically, and I've maxed it out. So you can say I want to play the game. I want it to be on easy basically, and things are just a lot easier. You level way faster, and you can just blow through the game. But I'm kind of in it for the grind because I just like with Tactics, I'll just get on Final Fantasy Tactics and just just go through and just do the random battles again and again, just because I like that. Sure. And so, yeah, this game, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going into it for the grind. So it's going to take me forever to get to it. And I think it has infinite levels, so you can get to like level 200. But I'm just in it for the grind, really. And so that's like my little side dish of a game. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of there's like a bunch of extra stuff you can buy for that game. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean it's got
the free stuff, freemium stuff always seems to sneak into my Vita. Like if there's stuff on sale, there's always like Rainbow Moon coins or something showing up.
Yeah, I've never needed it, and it's never asked me to do anything about that in the game. So I didn't even know it existed until I happened to check, and there was a bunch of free stuff that I could get. It does have that element, and I don't notice it, so it hasn't been an issue. The art style is a little cheap, I want to say, and that's no insult to anybody who's worked on it, but it just feels a little like it's not my cup of tea, I guess that's the way to put it. But I enjoy it. It's a good. The mechanics are good, so that's there. It's a little dated in the looks, though, I feel like.
Yeah. But, is there an actual rainbow moon there?
Yeah, you're trying to leave the moon. There's like different planetoids you can go to, and so their first step is to get off the one you're on, and then the story progresses from there. So
it's basically Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah, I haven't played that, but it's got a little bit of that element in how do you say it? Suikoden? Is that how you say it? I can't remember.
Probably, yeah, no one really knows.
But there's party members that you can miss, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah,
for sure.
It's a cool game.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and then should I just go on to what I've been watching?
Yeah.
Yeah. Been watching Brady Bunch with the old lady. That's yeah. So, and then we sat down and watched the Tomb Raider movies.
Why not?
The first one's so cheesy it's good. The second one is it's just really slow.
I loved the first one when it came out.
Yeah, it's so cornball, but it's really good.
I'm not jumping ahead to what I've got yet, but I've been rewatching the Leprechaun movies, and I'm having
nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Warwick Davis, what a character! I'm so happy for him that he got to be in this whole series. There's like 8 of these movies or something. This is a 3-pack DVD, but it's not. There's so many more apparently.
The first one has Jennifer Aniston, right? Is that
That's
the?
Right.
Yeah. And then as far as reading, I did pick up A Brief History of Video Games, which was recently published, and it's kind of like just a book of factoids. It goes chronologically through video game history, but it's not. There's no real narrative to it. It's just a bunch of like little blurbs of information and stuff. But it's pretty thick with video game lore, I guess. So it's good. It's just not. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting more like I don't know, more like encyclopedic, I guess. But it's all right. It's good so far. So.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's see, we've got some discussion going on at the live stream YouTube chat. I saw there was some Mega Man talk in there.
Yep.
Let's see.
Always Mega Man talk.
We're talking about playing games on the wrong systems. Like he says, I remember I got Mega Man X on my iPod Touch, and the quality on it sucked balls.
Whoa.
Mega Man has weird graphics. Mega Man is the shit. I know. I went back recently and played through X1 to 6. Want to tell us a bit more about
anything
that?
after 6 is horrible.
Yeah, that was Kyle there writing that in. Yeah, the one. What was it? Maybe X3? No, X4. X4 was pretty good. That was a good one. I think that was the first one on PS1, I believe. The other ones, the other ones are all on Super Nintendo. Help you out later. Good. Helping everyone out. Oh, I got a new viewer, Brittany.
Nope.
It will be Brittany, don't worry. One time I see a live stream from you, Steve. I can't stay. I hope this will be archived to your channel. Peace. Well, thanks for stopping by. And yeah, this will be available for anyone not here live. It should be saved automatically to the YouTube channel, and it will, of course, be available in pure audio format on Podomatic.
Raw audio.
The raw stuff audio. No, I do some editing, just a little bit. Sneak some songs in there and all that. Alright, good stuff. So what have I been playing? What have I been watching? Oh, Jesus. First thing on my list is Poltergeist Remake. Oh. Man. What? I'd almost gotten it out of my mind until... so disappointing. Such a bad remake. The only remake I've ever had this kind of discussed for in recent memory was Total Recall. The remake of that, I didn't like that at all. But this Poltergeist remake is just horrible. After rewatching this Poltergeist 2015 remake, I rewatched the trailer for the original Poltergeist, and just the music alone was already creepier than everything I saw in this remake.
Yeah.
It's such a shame.
Is that on demand now, or like now?
I wouldn't say that it's on demand or in demand.
No.
That's like a phrase that implies something that's not there.
Something that people
actually
want.
want it.
Like this, I understand the idea of making a remake of Poltergeist. There's such lore there, there's so
But
much
they
you
could
can do,
make it
especially
not
with modern
suck.
technology. Yeah, but even the budget wasn't there, and it's just
Like she's looking at a static cell phone instead of a TV. Or it's like it's a large iPad.
that would be alright actually.
Yeah.
Like that. They
They're
turned
here.
Yeah.
Also, I got high score on Flappy Bird.
five birds flying up the screen, and they're monster Flappy Birds. They turned the Tangina character, like the this house is clean. They turned that little lady into this like reality show guy who like runs around and films like fake haunted houses, but
So
it's like a real haunted house, but apparently he does know how to deal with actual ghosts, even though he's like a TV guy. And one thing I thought was kind of neat is they go in the house, as they do in the original, into the ghost realm, and then you see a sort of like the house, but all the ghosts are the house. So it's like all the walls are people, and on the stairs are people, and the banisters are people, which just kind of looked neat, but
it's made of people.
yeah. But when they go in there, like there's that part where like the Caroline character is taken by the ghost because she can help lead them to the light. Because they're all like trapped between this life and the next life, yada yada yada. Great movie, definitely watch the original Poltergeist. But there's a scene in the original where they go into the ghost realm to try and save her, and you don't know what's going on. It's left to the imagination, which is often the best way to do it in this sort of situation. But in this remake, you actually see what they see, and they very literally make the house people. Like people are the house, and it's just it looks neat in like an artsy sense, but it just I don't think that's anyone's idea of what was going on in there.
Yeah.
I think the best term is craptacular.
I got to move on. So don't watch the remake. Just watch the original over again. It's great. It's got Craig T. Nelson from Coach. Shortly after that, I watched Poltergeist 3 just for fun. It doesn't have the budget, I think, of the first two, because I liked 1. I liked 2. I thought Poltergeist 2 was pretty cool. That's when they try to flesh out one of the ghosts as a character. Makes this guy Kane, this sinister preacher man who led the ghost people into this sort of bunker. Not unlike Fallout 4, actually. He leads them into this bunker because he believes like hell is going to take over the surface or whatever. So he traps a bunch of people. This isn't really a spoiler. Traps a bunch of people into this underground like weird cave, but it's also like where they pray to their fake god, and then he traps them all in, and they all die under there, and that's why there's ghosts.
And he won't let them go.
And that King guy, just him alone, is totally worth watching the Poltergeist 2.
Didn't the little girl die shortly after that one?
She's in all 3 of them, but I think it's one of those spooky situations where people do die. I don't know what that's all about.
She got really sick.
Did she?
Yeah.
I'd have to look that up. But Poltergeist 3, it's fun because it's more of an urban setting. It's all about this huge-ass building. Now, have you guys seen Gremlins 2?
Of course.
Right. That one also had one of these really big buildings where everything was in it. So I'm thinking that was a thing going on at that time in the world.
Well, it was the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know. Because they're very similar. Like this big building where there's people working, people living, there's like food and all that stuff. I just think that's interesting. That must have been a thing back in the day. It must have been something they were worried about was going to happen. I don't remember it happening in the 90s, though.
Well, but the whole, like, 2000 bug and everyone thinking, you know, a lot of people in the world locked on to 2000 as something, so that could have been, maybe, they were paralleling something.
I think that's too far ahead. This was something that was, like, you know, movies often reflect what's going on in modern day. This must have been a thing that was happening back in the 90s.
Yeah.
This Omni building where everything is all in one spot.
Oh, like a self-sustaining ecosystem kind of thing. I could see that coming out in the 90s.
Like in, what is it? Judge Dredd does that, I believe.
Yeah.
It came out in 88.
Like, it's like, oh, we're drinking water, but it's really repurposed urine.
Something like that. I think
the 3 shells.
Fifth Element takes it to the next level where it runs on floating cars because the buildings are so big they can't get to the top otherwise. That's kind of cool.
What about
Yeah.
Demolition Man?
Blade Runner kind of does that as well, although there's a lot more out of buildings, I guess, but very big buildings as well. I don't know, something about big buildings back then.
Yeah.
Poltergeist 2 not bad. Does a lot of tricks with mirrors, and it's okay. It still has that retro movie feel to it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I've got Dear Esther in here. I mentioned that already. That is a walking simulator. It looks really nice, like especially when you're in the caves. But if you're expecting anything but not a very good story, but a really nice looking game for its time, even by today's standards, it looks pretty nice. Just don't expect much out of it. You're literally just walking around. My finger was getting tired holding W.
Oh man.
So you don't shoot stuff. You don't like do puzzles or anything. It's just you're walking, and then there's a story being told, and then you walk further, and yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. Play it for $1 or $2 if you got the time. Tormentum. Have you guys played this one yet?
No.
I've seen it.
I originally heard about it from the Super Best Friends Play YouTube channel where they did a Let's Play of it. Going back to what we were talking about point-and-click adventure games, it's one of those, but it's much more heavily based on puzzles because you don't really walk, you just sort of move from screen to screen. And then you do puzzles, find items, use them in other puzzles. I was streaming a bit of that. I didn't get too far into it, but I'm not done with it by any means. I just have to get back into the puzzly mood.
Yeah.
But very neat game, excellent art. If nothing else, look up Tormentum on Steam and just look at the art, because each screen looks like a heavy metal album cover.
Yeah, I see it.
Are the screens spatially related? Is it like you're moving in the world, or is it just like each screen's kind of like telling a story? Kind of like...
You do move from screen to screen.
Okay.
But you wouldn't even know because like each room is vastly different from the last.
Oh, I see. So you're going room to room in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're more or less stuck in this big like castle thing, but it's really just an excuse to use all these really badass looking pictures of art.
That's cool.
I'm just looking at the pictures on Steam here, and you can see there's always this hooded guy. That's who you are, but you never see him move. He's just static on the screen like most everything else.
Okay.
Nameless human man who walks around. He might not even be human. I don't know. And you talk to people and you solve puzzles. It's all about the art, really. I think you can even get an art book of it.
That's cool.
Actually, I'm just looking. They even mentioned Darkseid here. That's kind of cool. Yeah, very very neat art. Look, check it out. I'd say.
Yeah.
Selling for $8.70 on sale.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I guess if you're in the mood for a puzzle game. Been watching some Batman the Animated Series. That is a class act show right there.
Yeah, I
Beautiful
love that
show.
Yeah, the choice of the art style and all that helps keep it from aging poorly. That every background's like this watercolor painting look to it, or it's got that gothic kind of noir combination of things going on. But yeah, that's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Mask of the Phantasm. Love that.
Yeah, that was a great movie. And the score they added to it was really cool too. I thought that was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I still go back and watch that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Most of the DC animated movies are worth watching, I find. I was actually catching up on all the Batman ones. I think I've seen them all. Most of them are pretty good. There's that Justice League of Gods and Monsters one that recently came out. That was such a disappointment. But the Flashpoint Paradox, that one was awesome. That one I recommend.
Actually, I liked the new one, the Gods and Monsters. It was different.
Oh, so you're the one. The Batman guy wasn't even Batman. He was like random man who was a vampire for some reason.
Well, if you had read the comic, which I did, it's better. But I like that they brought it to the screen.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I'd rather watch it than nothing, I guess. So that's something good.
Come on, Mexican Superman.
I know, that's what I was going to say. You've read my tweets. The one thing I liked about that movie was that Superman...
that's right.
Superman, his dad is actually Zod in this one. Well, it's not so much a dad as he just like puts his finger in the... this is like a technology thing, and boop, now I'm a dad. And then
He's science raped.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah, no, I thought that was awesome. Disturbing, but awesome. So Superman's dad is Emperor Zod or General Zod or whatever his name is. So he's half Zod-like, like he's got a different looking face. And for whatever reason, his little pod lands in Mexico instead of like Kansas or whatever. So he's kind of he doesn't. I don't know. I really like this.
Superman. It's great.
I like this idea of Mexican Superman. Like if he had like lived and worked in Mexico, that would have been amazing. Like if he was talking Spanish the whole time, and oh man, Mexican Superman, I love it.
Almost as good as Russian Superman, but not quite.
I don't know what that is, but I doubt it's better.
Yeah.
Flashpoint Paradox. So that one's awesome. I'd recommend that one. Batman and series. One thing I've been noticing is what happened to Harley Quinn? Why did they make her into like this weird semi-lesbian like roller derby girl? What happened to the original one? I liked the original Harley Quinn much more. How about you guys?
Yeah.
I'm still I'm not making a verdict on anything until I see the movie.
Oh, I mean the live action one?
Yeah.
I'm not even talking that far into the future. I just mean like with the
character, just how they've taken her.
You or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Well, she was an original character from the animated series, right? That she wasn't sourced from the comics at all. Yeah, I think I don't know. They're always trying to freshen things up, and sometimes they make these choices, and then they'll back rev it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna backpedal on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it makes sense. Roller derby girl. I don't know. I just like the original one more, where she's like, because she's a class act. Like she's got that. Was it 70s, 60s? When would you say the animated
She was like a pinup girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got that voice, like that super distinct thing. I'm not gonna do an impersonation.
Oh, come on, do it.
Mr. J.
Damn, that was spot on.
That was perfect. Holy shit, was she in the room with us?
I like the original one. I like how she was like a psychiatrist, smart woman, but then she just digs this Joker guy so much that she's willing to throw it all away and become like this weird sidekick guy girl. And I don't know.
She spoke like a 1940s flapper girl, or 20s.
What's flapper? That's something. It's old school. That's,
yeah, I also like that. You know, she was in. They kind of, you know, she's in love with Joker, but I don't think it's never really. It's not like they're going on dates or anything.
Yeah, she still likes him in the new one too, though.
Yeah. So it's just that idea of it's like a platonic relationship, but one-sided. You know, I like that, especially with like a villain in this girl playing off of it. It's really interesting to me. You don't really see that anywhere else, but with that, and I think that's cool.
It's fascinating because you know she's like a smart, intelligent, strong, independent woman, but at the same time she's totally under Joker's command the whole time. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, I like the spin-off where she goes and hangs out with Power Girl.
That's kind of fun. I agree. It is pretty neat. Rebel Havoc in the chat. Thank you for joining us today, Rebel. They've been trying to make Harley Quinn into her own character. They changed her origins in her comic to make her more villainous. Bad move, in my opinion. Definitely. Yeah. Like they want her to be her own character. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I still just like the style of the original one more. But
yeah.
You got to do new things. Like with all these. Like we can bring up Kojima and Konami, for example. Like he never wanted to do that many Metal Gears, but they kept forcing him to do it. And I think that's one reason why that whole thing became such an issue.
Yeah.
The tricky thing, like, do you give people more of what they've been known to like, or do you risk changing things for better or for worse? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like her character is a package deal with the Joker. It's a two-man act, you know? Like, Penn and Teller, when they're separate, it's like, hey, this isn't working. But Joker works on his own, but I think she kind of, you know, I think it works best when they're together or they're tied together somehow.
Penn and Teller.
That's all I could think of.
Now I'm thinking like Harley Teller.
Yeah.
Harley Penn.
Yeah.
Who's the quiet one?
That might be the show's title, Harley Teller. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to combine those two thoughts. All right.
Somebody's already opening up Photoshop right now. It's getting ready.
I wish I had that kind of a fan base. Don't you hate it when it's like, oh, well, I got 500,000 subscribers. Everything we say now has its own video and animation done for it. Well, anyways. I've got some Team Fortress 2 in here, or aka Taunt Fortress 2, because with the Steam Winter Sale, I bought a bunch of the Team Fortress taunts. Now, most games, I would say, don't spend money on freemium junk, like hats or taunts or funny things like that, because it's just, stupid. Everyone hates DLC, blah, blah, blah. But, man, I've got over 2,000 gameplay hours in Team Fortress 2, and if any game deserves my money on useless random crap, it's Team Fortress 2. Have you guys seen these taunts in action yet?
No.
I've seen them.
Uh,
I miss the old days of the original Team Fortress when it was a Quake mod.
Yeah, we talked about that in the last episode. Well, the last episode that didn't exist, but there's one where you can get taunts, like flip off a guy or whatever in game. Like it's a risk to do it because you can't stop the animation, but it's fun just because like, hey, I'm just doing a taunt because I killed you. Check out this taunt sort of thing. But the taunt game has increased now where you can do taunts where other people can join in on them with you. So, for example, one of the taunts I bought was like this Russian dance. So everyone's shooting everyone with guns, and you're there doing a Russian, like the stereotypical Russian dance with your arms folded and you're like kicking out.
Yeah.
So you can do that in the game.
What that was called?
I don't know. We could look that up.
We could just call it the Tetris dance.
Yeah, same idea. No. Folk dance. Barnina?
Sounds right.
Bari.
Sure, it sounds Russian.
Yeah. Perfect pronunciation.
Look at this. Barynya.
Are you multilingual?
Man.
You speak Russian, don't you?
Barnina. Anyways, there's another one that they added where you guys remember those like 80s dance aerobic workout things where everyone like follows along? Maybe like your jazz hands out and all that. That's a taunt in the game. Had to buy that.
That's awesome.
It's got the music. Like when you do a taunt, you can hear music coming out of your character, and everyone else can hear it too. I bought a taunt for the spy where he brings out like a he brings out a Metal Gear Solid style like cardboard box, and and you can just walk around as a cardboard box. You're completely visible, completely vulnerable to enemy attacks, but you're just sneaking around.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That game is a hoot. Hoot and a half. Love me some Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, I'm playing a little bit of Battlefront with some buddies, and there's some taunts on there that are pretty funny too. But I don't have enough credits or anything to be able to get them. But people just running around sounding like chickens, like or turkeys, like. I play with a buddy, and all I hear constantly is. Then he gets pegged.
Yeah, exactly. You got to pick your spots when you do this.
Right.
Oh, good times. I've got Pandorum in here as well. I might save that for the next episode because I was talking with Bill from the STC Pod, Start to Continue podcast. We were talking about doing a future episode of the Capmax Hypecast where we discuss depressing sci-fi. I wrote up a thing for his blog. I won't go into it now, but I look forward to that. Pandorum would definitely fall under depressing sci-fi. It's a sci-fi movie. I won't go too far into it, but it's a pretty cool movie. But we might talk more about it in the next episode of the Capmax Hypecast. So look forward to that.
Cool
movie.
In 6 months.
Yep. 2017. February 2017. And finally, I've been playing some Minecraft Story Mode. Been streaming that. Now, with these Telltale Adventures, you got your Zombie Apocalypse one. That one's been doing really well. And then you had your Wolf Among Us. That was like a detective mystery murder thing. That was pretty cool. Borderlands, I did that. Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, etc. Now, then they did one for Minecraft. How do you do one for Minecraft? Well, you make up a bunch of characters, and then you just sort of make up a super dangerous monster that's destroying the world. And yeah, I'm at episode 3, maybe 3.
So,
yeah,
does it like one of the things about Minecraft?
Yeah.
That they could do is it's a game. So there's no characters in the game,
well, they made up characters, but yeah, there's just Steve guy that you.
There's a pig.
But do they imply that the people are playing characters in so much as they're actually playing Minecraft?
No,
you know what I mean?
People who live in Minecraft world.
Oh man, that's a missed opportunity right there. I would have loved to have seen if they had done something like that, where it was like people playing Minecraft, playing a story, like that kind of thing, and like you could have these like fourth wall breaking moments where it's like, yeah, mom, yeah, and that something like that where the character stops and it's like, what's going on? He's like, I think his mom's
Yeah.
Oh well. But what do you think of it so far?
I dig it.
Yeah. I'm
Minecraft,
serious
I'm not
about it.
into it.
Get it? Get it? Pun intended.
Yeah, yeah.
I dig
I
it.
tried to ignore that.
Yeah. Uh,
That's cool. Yeah,
uh,
I'm interested in that. And the Borderlands
it's
one,
not bad.
I haven't touched that one yet either, but
I might buy the Game of Thrones one and Borderlands one on Steam because they're both pretty well priced.
mm,
This one I bought on PS3 just because it's easier, I find, to stream console games and PC games because you don't have to worry about your computer's assets being divided. Like I was trying to stream Soma and it was making the game lag, and I was like, no, no one makes Soma lag. Not on my watch. I have to shut that down. But yeah, Minecraft story mode. What can you see? You're like a dude. He's got a pet pig, and you got some friends, and there's a building competition in the world. Your display gets sabotaged by rivals, and then your pig runs off, and then you look for the pig, and then things happen, and then you get it
Ew.
back. Oh, not like that. Not like that.
down, 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 down.
Then you find this secret room thing, and then this guy
And the
who's like,
pig?
no, move on from the pig.
Oh.
Pigcraft. And then this monster gets created, not from the pig, nothing to do with pigs, and then the monster becomes extra powerful, and then it tries to destroy all of Minecraft world, and then you're trying to fix that.
No loss.
Yeah, and there's like these like legendary Minecraft people, and you're trying to find them and put them all back together because their group could like save the world from this monster. But I get the feeling your own group is going to be the group that saves the world, and there are choices, but the choices don't really matter. Because
Yeah.
they
As
never
with
really
any
do in Telltale games.
game.
That dog will bite your arm no matter what you do.
Fucking dog.
Right. And yeah, it's cool if you like Minecraft. Even if you don't, I feel it's a good gateway drug, if you will, into the world of Minecraft. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. All right, well that about does it for what you've been playing, what you've been watching, which means it's time for the Nintendo Watch, which means it's time for our first recess. So now's our chance to use the watch and all that. So let's move on to the Nintendo Watch. Okay, so this is now our official first recess, everyone. Good recording so far?
Yeah.
So we're going to leave, for everyone in the live stream video chat, we're going to leave that running. But by all means, I'm going to use the washroom. Get yourself something to drink, and we'll be back in 5 minutes or so.
Restart
Cool.
my fire.
I'll fill up the water.
Okay.
How's it going, chat? Beer bag.
Ooh. Heads up. Yeah. Alright, what's going on here? Let's see. We'll mention more about what we got in the chat. Everyone in the chat, thank you for sticking with us. We got Lexi, we got Rebel, and Brittany. Brittany B's Feather Rides. That name doesn't sound familiar. Anyways, thank you for stopping
Maybe
by.
it's a friend of your mom's.
Hot. Let me put a new tweet out. Don't you hate when you leave Twitter on too long and then it just, it's like 112 tweets and then you click on and then the whole thing freezes up?
I use TweetDeck. That way it just streams it as it goes.
Oh. I feel I might be pushing it by having iced tea after iced coffee.
Oof.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
A gamble.
Well, everyone having fun so far?
Yeah, it's going good.
Nothing's blown up yet.
Nope. Things are recording. Guests showed up when they should. No one's on vacation or on the bus or anything. And
Or randomly friends show up at your house instead.
Wait,
I don't know. I still don't know where Felix is.
On a bus? Wait. Is that a reference to that other incident you were talking about, or?
Well, yeah, because I think he was. I don't know where he was, but he wasn't at home in front of the computer like we were trying to set up.
So he like calls you on the phone and he's paying his little toll and getting on the bus.
It was weird.
That's funny.
Okay. Let me just see what's going on here. That's good. So everyone's back now?
Yeah.
Well, we're still waiting for the fourth guest.
Oh, good.
Make room for Jesus.
Hypecast lives.
It's funny because as he types, it mutes.
Man, totally forgot.
What?
Somebody
he forgot.
Somebody posted the sides of these arcade cabinets, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. Is this a different one? This isn't like the arcade one, is it? It's got this chick dressed up as April O'Neil. I don't remember this at all.
Well, there's two arcade games.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
I only remember.
The original is just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, rather.
Gotta see the. I know Turtles in Time, but. Yeah. Interesting.
The other one was also Turtles 2 on the NES.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that one more, honestly. I don't. Why enter time travel into the equation? It's unnecessary.
Because it's fun.
No, time travel is never fun. You never make things better. It's always worse. Trust me.
Okay, then explain Back to the Future. Why is it good?
Is it good? I've never really been a fan of that movie series.
Oh man.
I know. It's
my
never
wife's
really
not here.
connected with me.
She would have words. She'd be like, "Get off the podcast now."
You're fired.
Shut it down.
Hang up. She just unplugged the router.
Oh. You just said the wrong thing.
You're not allowed to.
There's a big power switch outside.
You're grounded from associating with them.
We could get into it, but that's another episode for another time. Actually, one of the future episodes I have is with a guy that loves Back to the Future, so that'd be the episode. Oh man.
Yeah.
Barinya.
Are you still trying to figure out how to say that?
Barinya. Yeah, reminds me of like cat talk in Japan. Yeah. I'm gonna shut that link down right now. Okay, so we're back. We're ready to continue.
It's a dinosaur story.
Let's start it up again. Ready for this? I'm recording. See, I find it's easier if you stop the recording at key edit points, and you don't have to even cut shit out because it's not there.
Yeah, you don't have to go through and listen to it or write down times.
I mean, I do. I still listen to it, but it helps. All right. Let me just open this. Okay. All right, we're back, and it's time for the Nintendo Watch. That time in the Capmax Hypecast where we take a look at that most unique and mysterious of companies, Nintendo, and we say, hey, what are they up to this time? What do we have on our list? We got a couple things. No, I'm enjoying some iced tea here. Oh yeah, man, these iced tea cans. You guys have access to these? Honey ginseng green tea nest tea.
No, I've never seen those.
88 cents. Look at the size of this thing. It's a tall boy right there.
That's 88 cents in Canadian money. So that's like 15 cents your money.
Right? Man, damn good deal. Okay, Kyle wanted to mention this one. NX touchscreen controller?
Yeah, it's it's not certain if it's for the NX. It's just Nintendo filed a patent earlier in December, and the entire surface of it is a touchscreen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know about you, but I hate gaming on touchscreens.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's just like smartphone, which meant touch, tap, swipey. Like, aren't we playing consoles to get away from that so we can have actual buttons?
I'm hoping.
How do you not want to press these buttons on this WWE All-Stars THQ controller that's really good for Street Fighter?
I got my snazzy Razer controller, which I'm actually kind of disappointed in. It's a button.
These are the perks you get when watching the Capmax Hypecast live stream. See, our funky controllers. Here's a pixel link.
Transformers candy tin.
Here's a gremlin.
All I have is
I was so happy to get this.
Dragon Quest. Just hold that up.
I got a brain.
That's all we can ever really ask for.
Yeah, no, I saw the patent and the. What's weird about it is the analog sticks are over the screen. So I thought that was interesting, and the screen bleeds off to the right of your thumbs, which I don't see the point in it, and it seems to be trying to solve a problem that doesn't necessarily even exist. It's I don't know.
A lot of the patents that people file are for technology that they're not necessarily doing. They're just covering their asses in case.
Yeah.
So they could take elements of it.
Yeah, exactly. They came up with the idea. They want to protect it.
Yeah, Nintendo touchscreen controller patent offers clues about upcoming NX. Nintendo tries solving problems inherent in using touchscreen controllers.
Yeah. It almost looked like when I looked at the patent, it almost looked like they were going because patents are very ambiguous. It's fascinating to me how vague they can actually be. But it's interesting. It looked like they were maybe even going to have the screen project onto because from what I saw, there was just no buttons on the front of it, just thumbsticks. I don't know. It just seems weird. But if it's an all just touch screen and the buttons
That's
are
Nintendo though, right?
Yeah, but if it's all just a touch screen, without the tactile feedback, I don't know. I've tried it, and you got to constantly clean your hands, because the screen can get all weird, and the screen gets weird all the time. And then they make it anti-smudge, and it just seems to make it even worse.
And then it also lowers the quality.
Yeah.
At least the resolution on it.
Yeah, you'll lose some pixel density, but it's I don't know. I know what I'd like to see with the NX, but
I'd like to see it not suck.
Yeah.
And they're saying that it could be they want to do it so you can detach the controller or something like that and use it as a portable console.
Okay, that makes I don't know.
So you can take your games and go with you, or you plug it into the base station, or will it be like a component of the console itself that you detach rather than the Wii U-like controller?
Yeah.
It's super early to really know. And patents, they just want to make sure they have the access to these ideas.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't have to pay millions of dollars to some random jerk off because he's sitting on the patent just because.
That's something I would do.
That's the life you want to live.
I want money for doing shit.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Rebel Havoc says some games are good for touchscreen, just some. Yeah, agreed. Even then, I mean, I find that most of the really popular smartphone games are the ones that actually do touchscreen well.
But
Like, take
most
Angry
of the
Birds for consideration. All you do is you just move your finger back to load up a bird and boop, let it go.
Yeah.
Watch
you could do the
things
same
happen.
thing with a mouse.
Well, you can't have a mouse on a phone. Or can you? I'm going to make a patent for that.
I'm gonna make a game for mice.
Oh. little cheeses running around. Avoid the mouse traps.
Yeah.
Move away from traditional gaming. What? No, they don't. Nintendo loves rehashing.
Yeah.
When do we think the NX will release? Man, not for
I think
not
it'll
for a
be this
while.
year. Late this year, but I think it'll be this year. Because
Like
the
Christmas
developer
time this year.
possibly because the developer
I hope
consoles
so.
are out with people. And
Yeah.
it was I think it was Capcom that leaked it, that saying that the NX existed. They were like, shit, we shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. And yeah, I've heard some things that they're already actually starting to gear the production lines too. So, you know, it's already in place. A lot of it's probably already in place. I just hope they don't forget about the gamers with whatever it is they do.
And it's supposed to be a non-disc based system. So maybe modified thumb drives.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you know, it's funny you guys mentioning non-disc based, but it occurred to me because I still buy physical copies. I'm trying to avoid digital if there's a physical available. But it occurred to me that say I'm building a PS4 library and PS4s are on the x86 and so is the Xbox One. But this is totally a segue, by the way. I apologize, but
No, that's fine.
It's a hoverboard.
I could actually be punished for not buying digital. Say the next system comes out, there's no physical disc to it. So if you bought digital, you could still play that on the new system because if it's on the x86 hardware, theoretically backwards compatibility is really easy. But I could see getting actually punished and having to keep my old console because I went physical. Like I could see that as a possible future.
Yeah.
For people who are buying digital, and it seems funny to have you get burned that way, but yeah, I don't know. What are you guys? You say they did do digital only or no physical discs. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I hope they ship a system with more than 32 gigs of hard drive space.
That's a big one.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of you lose. I think once they go all digital, I think the price of games is going to plummet because there's no perceived value in something. It's kind of like the Steam sales thing. You end up getting these games dirt cheap because.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, but I could see that
it, though.
a side effect.
Nintendo has a certain price that they like to keep things at.
Yeah, good or bad.
It never seems to matter if you're buying it digitally or physically. The price never changes.
But look at when, let's say, Metal Gear Solid, when it came out. Look at how much it still was on PC on day of release. It was the same price as what it is in the box edition.
Yeah.
And the boxed edition came with the Steam installer on the disc.
And it was like less than a gig, right?
Yeah.
It was like on this DVD disc and.
Hey, that was a 2-disc game.
Yeah. I saw, this going digital, it's really interesting, the side effects of it. I'm seeing Force Awakens packaging. You can, out in the DVD sections right now, you can buy, it's the digital copy, but you're just buying it ahead of time.
Yeah.
I guess. And it comes with some posters and things like that. But they're trying to kind of blend the two with people still shopping at retail.
Well, so I'm a PC gamer. I ever since my 360 died, I haven't had a console.
Yeah.
So I've slowly made the change from doing the exact same you do and buying everything physical because I love my physical copies, even for PC games.
Yeah.
I used to have like hundreds of boxes, which I had to get rid of over the years. But I've made the switch to all digital now, and I can't see myself going back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I love my physical media. Don't get me wrong. I love my my cartridges for all my old games and all that stuff. But give me an emulator any day over that.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll break out the old console. You know, friends are over, hook it up to the projector, and have some 6-foot-tall Mario fun.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's very early still.
Yeah.
I mean, there's room for both digital and physical. I know the stores have a lot of say in the matter too, and like EB Games and all these companies that they're all like sort of influenced by.
I'm hoping EB Games dies. I hate them. Absolutely hate EB.
Well, they could use competition, that's for sure, but it's mostly just stores like Best Buy that are trying to get in on that. Seems.
Yeah, they're too late in the game to get into it.
I think Best Buy in the U.S. seems to have a lot more going on than Canada, because I know a lot of people I've seen, they have like Best Buy special promotions and all that sort of thing, where they're able to get some really good deals, but I don't see those deals in Canada.
Yeah.
No, not even close.
They've got the Gamers Club, which is really nice. You pay $30 for 2 years, and basically you get 20% off of any pre-order out of the gate, and all these, they do the points thing and all that, and then you can get a lot of money back, more than you would see from GameStop here, which is still, EB Games and GameStop are synonymous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get a little bit more, more to your credit back. So if you're just doing the most recent games and you're buying and you're giving them back to them, and you just do that cycle, you'll save a bunch of money doing that. But
I don't like giving them back.
Exactly. I tend to be, I like to just wait for the deal. So I just wait it out usually. But yeah, it's they're doing the used thing. Walmart's doing the used thing. Target's doing the used thing now. They're all doing it.
The Best Buy up here is trying to do the used thing, but it's really half-assed.
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah, it's not worth looking at.
Yeah, Walmart just
even 7-Eleven does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those prices are horrible, and the games are horrible.
I don't know. I did pick up Sneak King for $6 at 7-Eleven.
It's always like 30 copies of NBA 2K11. It's like, oh.
Oh, sports games, just the rubbish. Oh man.
Well, people pay money for the roster change, and that's really all you're doing.
Well, sports people, man, they're all over that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about nerds? Sports people are bigger nerds than nerds.
Okay. Smash Brothers. You guys play Smash Brothers at all?
Yeah, back in the day on my 64.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Hit with Kirby.
Yeah. I definitely, like, anytime there's a new Smash Brothers, we get together with friends every once in a while. It gets harder as you get older. Everyone starts to separate a bit more, but yeah, definitely been hitting up. I haven't played any of the payable rosters though.
No, I don't want to.
Wait, they're making you pay for it now?
Yeah, I thought it was free, and then I went to some friends again now that all the new stuff's out, and let's just download Ryu and all that stuff, and nope, it's not. You've got to pay for it.
Oh, that's bull.
Yeah.
Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, Bayonetta from Bayonetta,
yeah,
and Corn. I just wrote Corn. And parentheses there. From the upcoming Fire Emblem, those are all, and apparently they're the final DLC characters being added to Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS. Maybe not 3DS, I don't know. They've probably pushed the 3DS version to the limits by now.
I love the Bayonetta and Cloud both seem to. This is what I love about Smash Bros. Is that it's like every character should break the balance of the game.
Yeah.
And somehow it doesn't. And it's like Bayonetta, you can chain combos and do, you can do that in Smash Bros, but not in the way that they're implying with Bayonetta, at least in the video that I saw. So it's like, man, how does that not break the game? And same with Cloud. Cloud's got some, the limits and all that stuff. That's just like, it seems like this should break things. And like her heel smash, it's like, what? Like, that doesn't seem fair at all. So for how she can guard the edge, it's like, that's crazy. But I'm definitely curious how it would mess with the balance.
You were paying attention to that video, weren't you?
Yeah, definitely interested in it. But yeah, I'm a little heartbroken once I'm so out of it. I found out you've got to pay for all this stuff, and I'm like, dang it, why? Because Nintendo's, Splatoon, they're making all this stuff free, and
Yeah.
a lot of their other stuff, they were updating Hyrule Warriors and putting all this cool stuff in for free.
I bet you it's because it's competition. It's a competitive game, and
Well,
people play it competitively.
yeah, and it's a supply and demand thing where they know they can charge for it.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
yeah, people bought it for the original roster, and they know that the type of gamer that plays that game is willing to pay for those things. So they understand it, I think.
Splatoon was just an experiment. It took off, but they.
And they're experimenting with the DLC things. I don't know if have you played the burger game with the baseball game with the dog. I forget the name of it on the 3DS.
Yeah, Rusty's baseball.
Yeah, that is such a manipulative game. Have you played it?
Mm-mm.
So it starts out. It's free to download, and it's one of those free to play games. And I've
been avoiding all those free to play games.
Oh, dude, this is worth it though, just because of how they manipulate you in it. It's this dad. His wife has left him. He's got 3 pups, and he's trying to run a baseball store. And so you get some gear, and you go out and you play these free game things like that, and then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, this next stuff is going to cost money, but you can play a couple rounds free. And then he starts telling you a sob story, and he's like, he's like, it's $4, and you can go and pay. You can pay the $4, or you can say, you know what, that's too high, and then he'll be like, okay, well, I'll have to make some cuts, and I won't be able to get the pups the toys that they wanted, but I can do $2, and then you can as the player you can say, nah, I'm not going to do it, and he's like, okay, well, I'll have to cut back on some meals, but I'll do it for 99 cents, and so the DLC you bargain with the NPC in the game on.
Wow. That's genius. Holy crap.
It's so depressing because it's this dog, and he gives you these sob stories, and he's talking about how he's trying to win his wife back, and if you paid more, like, he might be able to do more to get his wife back, but it becomes this weird narrative in how much you pay him, real life money. So you can always get this really good deal on the expansions to it, but you feel like a jerk when you do it.
Does it affect anything else?
I don't think so. I think it would affect like plot points in the game, but it's amazing. It's an amazing tool to like manipulate you to play.
I hope it affects like the game itself.
Right.
Like all of a sudden the dog's homeless or something.
Yeah, it works great though, and the game's actually a lot of fun. Like, I don't like baseball stuff, and these are like baseball mini games. It's not actually, you're not actually playing the sport of baseball. But it's actually a fun game. Like, you're not throwing to bases and dealing with the whole team and stuff like that. It's like just these weird little mini games, and but it's actually decent. Like, it's got decent gameplay, and it's a fun game to pick up and play.
Yeah.
But that way of tying it in to the actual character and you affecting their life with that is just a strange approach, but it works really well, and it's really experimentative. I mean, I haven't seen anything quite like that.
No, I've never even heard of anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it almost seems common sense.
Yeah, it makes you, if you tie the expansion into the story in a way where it's like you're going to affect the life of the character, man, that changes things a lot. I think like RPGs could pick up on something like that, but good or bad, I don't know.
Oh man, can you imagine an MMO like that? Holy crap!
Right. We like built in Kickstarter into the MMO to make sure that the castle of whatever doesn't crumble to the ground. Like.
Weird. Yeah, I could see Daybreak, which used to be Sony Games, going that route. They can't seem to get the next EverQuest up and going.
Yeah, but it's a Nintendo produced game. Just really interesting approach to it.
That is cool. I'm gonna have to look into that one.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Sorry, jumping off on that.
Smash Bros. And baseball.
Yeah. But yeah,
they could probably add that dog guy into Smash Bros.
If only to beat him up, just to have a side character.
Just to make him on the side being depressed and homeless and stuff.
Yeah.
Missing his wife.
Yeah, I think he threatens, like, the wife's talking about taking the dogs away, and, like, it's just horrible.
Man, that's weird. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more of these free-to-play experiments going on the 3DS these days. Isn't there a free-to-play Picross now? I know there's like a
Yeah,
Pokemon puzzle. I think there's a Picross one.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to have to
On
worry about
mobile,
that
there's
stuff.
a Pokemon game.
Yeah, the Go or whatever. The one with
Yeah.
the little wristband thingy. That's not
I
out
don't know.
yet,
I
though, is
haven't
it?
played it. No, no,
Yeah.
no. There's one on. You can download it on your phone. I think it's
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap or something.
I don't know. That's not on the list.
On the
Okay,
list, I
so
don't care.
yeah, exactly. Fire Emblem Kid. He turns into a dragon, sort of. Bayo, crazy attacks, Cloud, crazy attacks. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Because I'm not into Smash Bros. That much. But when we were talking about some games being free DLC, some not, I was also reminded of Mario Kart, which also had paid DLC for new tracks. I guess if they're
What?
actually making more data, like typing more
Yeah,
code in, that's when they charge. Maybe, and the other ones are just like, well, it was already on the list to begin with, so that stuff's free.
Well, you look
that.
at Splatoon. It's all on the disc.
Mm.
Mm,
They haven't added anything new, which makes me think that Nintendo hasn't added anything new to any of the other games. And if it's stuff that's on the disc, I don't agree with that sort of.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Mario Kart stuff was definitely download, and it was actually a really great deal because you were essentially paying. I want to say I paid maybe $10 and doubled the size of the game basically.
Mm-hmm.
With a
That's
number
Yeah, I
of
like
weird.
that DLC.
yeah,
I was hoping they'd keep going with it, but I think they're done with Mario Kart now.
yeah, doubled the track size and the number of characters. I think once it was all done. So and they didn't, it's Nintendo, so the quality is amped up. They didn't skimp on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of in jokes, like on the Zelda levels. I noticed they changed the sound of the coin to be
Rupee.
the yeah, the rubies, and then there's just all these little subtle things that they add to it where it's they just paying homage a lot. Nintendo's just constantly self-referencing. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Fun times.
Yeah.
I just added to our Nintendo Watch list there. Me costumes equal ghetto life. Because there's a bunch of neat characters that they made costumes for the Mii's, but they're not actual characters. They're just like you're just wearing funny clothes on your Mii fighter. And I really like some of those characters. I honestly don't care about Cloud. I don't care about Bayonetta. I don't care about Corn. I love Corn though, man. Couldn't imagine Doritos without him. But a lot of those characters that they only made Mii costumes for are those I thought were a lot more interesting. Ah well,
Yeah.
it was all a popularity contest, literally. So, so there it is. Cloud Bay Corn.
And that's it for Smash, right? There's nothing else coming
I
out.
hope so. I've heard enough.
The vault is locked.
Actually, that reminds me.
Oh, they can always come up with more.
Yeah.
Back to our YouTube live chat. Oh god, I'm trying to zip up and down. It just goes right to the start of the chat. What did Rebel say? Smash is on a competitive platform now. It's done the same tournaments as Street Fighter, which is very true. There's a used retro gaming store in town here called Epic Games and More, and they have kids there playing Smash Brothers all the time. It's really
Wow. Wish we had something like that up here.
Yeah, we got lots of those stores in town. Just, I guess, lots of people buying retro stuff. But that's obviously the case. I don't need to tell you that retro stuff is popular.
Yeah. But we got nothing up on this part of the island.
Let's see, Quatar's friend Impossible X Girl has joined the chat. Welcome to our live stream. Nintendo Kart Racers. Yeah, I'd love to see more non-Mario people added to Mario Kart. That'd be cool. Mario Kart 9, Nintendo Kart Racers. Yeah, I like that idea. And Giant Yoshi Amiibo. What? Where? Okay, let's move on. Is that it for Nintendo Watch? There's not much going on for Nintendo, especially this time of year. We're in that weird between phase where everyone's just relaxing with their newly acquired Christmas presents and all that. What is it, February? Is that when the next batch of games comes out? Was it like Star Fox, Fire Emblem? Anything
Oh,
else?
I hope Star Fox doesn't suck.
Oh man. Oh
I'm
yeah.
worried. I'm worried about that whole look at your screen, look at your gamepad.
Yeah. The people that I've seen talk about who actually played it when they had playables, it just didn't play well at all. So it's very concerning, and it sounds like maybe they're trying to fix it, but it seems like they're just. I don't like using the word tacking on, but they're trying to justify the controller still.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, please at least give the options to let you just use the sticks. You
That'd be
know,
awesome.
yeah,
Just thought I'd use the Pro controller.
yeah, for the aiming at least. But I don't know. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
There's that Pro controller right there.
Yeah, yeah. Star Fox always
I'd be
has.
happy playing just this.
Yeah, it's got a special little place in my heart. Seriously, I played the SNES one like crazy when that came out, and thought it was amazing. The 13 frames a second 3D was incredible, and then had voice and
that game, hashtag game changer. That Star Fox original.
Yeah, but I loved it. I mean, I memorized I just played the crap out of that game.
Hey, remember Star Fox Adventures?
Yeah, I know this. I don't know. I'm just worried about this one. That's for sure. It's definitely. I don't suck, please.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And you notice I didn't mention that Metroid game since that one video they did. The one that everyone hated so much. That's the one I'm most looking forward to playing. Metroid Space Marine.
The 3DS one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like playing soccer for some reason.
I haven't played Metroid since Super Metroid.
That was a good one. Probably the best one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Rebel in the chat says, "You really think about all the characters in Smash are only from Japanese Mad Games? Japanese Mad Games. That might be a typo. But yeah, I guess they are mostly Japanese. Excuse me. What they needed was Superman and Goku. That's the fight people really want.
Yeah, they're never going to get Goku in there. No matter how hard people try and protest and cry about it, it's never going to happen.
Rebel also wants us to know that Star Fox 64 is one of his favorite games of all time. Digital Palette was in last episode. I believe it's one of his favorite games as well. By the way, Rebel, if you want to be in a future episode of the Capmax Hypecast, do let me know. We can certainly have you on. Rebel, who is Rebel Havoc over on Twitch, he has been streaming a lot of Halo, I believe, and he also has his own Twitch-based podcast that he does. There you go. Check him out. Okay, I think we are ready to move on from the Nintendo Watch. Oh, there it is. So, Nintendo Watch closed. Someone is eating candy? Is that candy?
No. I'm not opening candy.
Oh my god.
And I'm not putting it into a tin.
Oh my god. Is that M&M's? Did you bring enough for the whole class?
No, it's Autobot-themed candies.
Nice.
I got them for Christmas.
Wait, hold on, let me open up the video. You gotta show us that. Is there a box?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Oh, cool.
I
So
ate
it's like
the
the,
one last night. Where'd it go? I lost it.
show derailed.
Yeah, but even the little candies have a little Autobot face on it.
Yeah, it's probably the same group that does these Zelda.
Yeah, probably.
Master Swords.
And they're really crappy.
Oh, this one actually has a little Nintendo eShop badge on the back. That's kind of cool. Okay, Nintendo Watch closed, which means we're opening up interesting news. Or as I've been tempted to recall it, what's hyped us. Where there's plenty of shit going on in the world today, but this is just what's interesting to us. AKA, what's hyped to us. No, this first one I've got on the list is kind of old by now. I wanted to talk about it maybe back in October or something. But Bob Ross has been added to Twitch, and it's a hell of a good time. You guys been watching any of that Bob Ross on Twitch?
Yeah, man. I when it first the first day was there with a group and watched all the memes develop. It was it was fascinating to watch a younger generation discover Bob Ross and his pleasantness and his like calm demeanor and the you can do it. You just basically just do it kind of attitude, and everyone's just responding to it really positively on Twitch is really strange because it tends to be a little hostile of an audience.
Yeah,
And
it's fun.
watching the audience, like saying League of Legends crap, like do the lane and shit. Like I don't even know.
Yeah, and like that he's using hacks and cheating. And
Yeah.
I like whenever he does any new color, they type in ruined.
Ruined,
All
yeah.
caps ruined.
Ruined and then saved later on. Yeah. And then he'll drop some gossip about his son and everyone's like, "Oh, he's talking crap again." And like it's
I love when people are like, "Why doesn't he ever reply to the chat?"
Yeah, exactly. When's he gonna read comments?
He's dead.
So for the record, anyone who has no idea what we're talking about, Bob Ross, the painter who had a show on TV, super chill guy, super chill show. They've been re-showing old episodes of the Bob Ross painting program on Twitch, which is a live streaming website where everyone can watch and type in the chat live. Pretty fun times.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a lot of fun to watch that. My favorite is probably R.I.P. Devil, where in one episode he mentions, because every now and then if he wants to clean the paint off his brush, he'll just go down to his thing.
Yeah.
And one episode, I think it was only one episode, it says just beat the devil right out of that brush.
Yeah.
It just stuck with the internet. Now every time he does that, you gotta type out R.I.P. Devil. Or if I'll do it several times, be like, Devil 0, Bob Ross 3. Something like that. That's one of my favorites. Oh, it's a good show. Yeah, so definitely be sure and enjoy some Bob Ross on Twitch. I think they only do it once a week now. But,
I'm waiting for them to bring Mr. Dress up to Twitch.
Cool. There's a feature there. I like this adding. It's you just got to get the right show for it. But when you got that right show, it's a good time. All right, Black Friday, Boxing Day. Anyone get any good sales?
Yeah, I managed to get 4 games for, I think it was about $36. Of course, I'm on the console, and so it's, I got, what was it, the Rare Replay, Shovel Knight, which comes with the soundtrack. That was cool, unexpected. And then Wolfenstein, The New Order, then Old Blood, and then one other game that is escaping my mind right now. But got a lot of deals on those games. So.
Mm-hmm. No, Matt, you guys don't have anything related to Boxing Day, right? That's a purely Canadian idea?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nothing about that.
We're slowly trying to infect you guys with it, though.
I take it was a great boxing fight that occurred
between the U.S. and Russia.
Knows.
Yeah.
The Canadian archives were lost in that great snowfall when the polar bears made their uprising. Let's see.
Yeah, you know that movie?
Over to the Parliament Igloo. I'm looking this up right now. We got to figure out this Boxing Day business.
Saturday before Christmas Day, it looks like.
Okay,
no,
check this
after.
out. Boxing Day, according
following.
to Wikipedia, is a holiday traditionally celebrated the weekday or Saturday following Christmas Day when servants and tradesmen would receive gifts known as a Christmas box from their masters, employers, or customers.
So this is when... Does that mean your bosses give you guys gifts?
No.
No.
Because that would be following the tradition directly.
That'd be nice, but no.
Oh.
No. All it means is maybe.
So I'm not here. No.
Is that the leprechaun? All it means is that.
No, it's Consuela.
Oh yeah, no.
No, you get the cleaner.
Mrs. I'm not here.
I want me gold. No. All it means is maybe 5 years ago we didn't recognize Black Friday, so we never got cool deals around the holidays. So I guess Boxing Day just became that day when Canadians got cool deals on stuff to buy. But now we have Black Friday and we have Boxing Day, so there's
and Cyber Monday.
I didn't know the origins of Black Friday until quite recently, and it fascinated me once I found out, and it made a lot of sense. But
Black Friday.
It's typically Black Friday was basically it was from a retail perspective. It's the time of year was when it coincided with the retail getting out of the red and into the black on their sales, basically, and their margins or whatever, like how much money they were making as a business. They would get out of the red during that time because you make all your money in the holidays, essentially, like the end of the year. That's when retail makes their money, a lot of their money, and so it was when they would get out of the black or get out of the red and into the black on their books, so to speak.
Nice.
So
greedy corporations making money and bringing the white man down.
Making a sell out of it too, basically.
Yeah. I didn't see a whole lot of exciting stuff on Boxing Day. Black Friday, not so much. Now, below this, our Google Doc actually made it a separate page, but I have EB Games Deep Clearances. That was the sale I was looking for. I tweeted about
the one up here didn't have it.
You had to look. They didn't. Not every store did it differently. But long story short, EB Games, aka GameStop, they needed to make space for other things, so games were like $5 each.
Wow, that's
basically like each store had a random selection of games, but in my apartment here, I've got bags of things I have yet to go through. But I've got like one of the Cabela games that comes with like a rifle. I got that for like $5. I think it was Hitman, Absolution, whatever. Hitman was the last one. I got the collector's edition of that for $5. I got at least 10 PS3 games for maybe less than $5 each. These, like I said, deep clearances. This is the sale I wait all year. Like, it was not, no one knew it was coming. It just, boom, one day, here it is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This stuff because at the end of the day, most of it was gone. It was just, what is even happening? I'm not going to ask. Just let me buy these things. One of the best deals I had was you could get an Xbox 360, like brand new, for $50.
Man.
That I missed out on, although I'm kind of glad I did because I don't have any Xboxes and I don't want any more systems to have to buy games for because I spend way too much money already. And I have Steam, so that's what I've always figured was my Xbox because it's Microsoft anyways. Or PC, Microsoft, Windows. It's all pretty much the same idea. But yeah, $50. Like I saw them there, and then the guys bought them, and I was like, that's fine. But man, that was the sale for me. I'll tell you that right now. The deals in Canada Black Friday are getting better. Boxing Day, kind of shitty. That's what I found. Nothing too exciting. I bought a couple things. Amiibo were $10 each. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything at all. I've been broke.
Money is good when you have it. When you don't, it's depressing and sad.
Yeah, it was a great Christmas. Very depressing. Nobody got anything.
Yeah.
We kind of did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had to return my Christmas present. Does that count?
Oh, that's the worst.
Good.
That's the worst.
But not if you have to return it on that week when everyone else.
The problem with having to, exactly. The problem with doing a return right after Christmas is everyone's going back for the deals because there's, everything gets marked down even more, like especially like the candy and the sort of disposable stuff, and so it's just packed again, and everyone's doing those returns. So.
Well, I got mine before Christmas, and then had to return it because it was defective. And it was $500.
Oh, well, that's why you have no money.
What was it?
Yeah.
OS VR virtual reality headset.
Oh, yeah. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
No one needs that yet. Is there anything to even do with that yet?
Well, yeah.
What?
Virtual porn.
Is there such a thing already?
Yes. Are you kidding? That's why VR is going to succeed, man.
I haven't heard nearly enough about the VR porn scene.
No, the only reason I want it is I've got PTSD, so I wanted to. I'm working on something to help fight it.
Yeah, dude, that's brilliant. I think that's one of the huge benefits of VR is the ability to put yourself in a situation, and that's a good idea. That's really cool.
And that's what I wanted it for, but I had it for 3 days, and the cable didn't work. Like. The whole system worked, just the display wouldn't turn on. So it sensed all the motion, everything, all that stuff. But, without a screen in front of your face, it's useless.
Yeah.
It's just like the problem we had trying to get this thing started today.
Yeah. But no, I think that I totally encourage you doing that because I think that's one of the huge possibilities with VR is the ability to especially for recover for trauma or some, like, for instance, even roller coasters, like, I'm not a roller coaster guy, but I can see that helping me get over a fear like that, or like, ways of exposing you to something that it's not real but it is, and it helps you kind of
Exactly.
deal with it in a way
Basically,
that's
I want to
safe.
make myself fall off a building again and try and fix what the hell's going on out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because as I got older, I never was cautious, or heights never bothered me, but once I got a rational fear of death as I got older,
Yep.
vertigo is like a thing that happens to me when I get up higher and on buildings and things like that, and I never had that when I was young, but now I'm super cautious about even walking alongside we stayed at the that Pyramid Hotel in Vegas. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but
MGM Grand.
yeah, and the walls go inward, and so it just tripped my mind out, and I had to.
Man, that would be trippy.
Yeah, I had to walk so carefully, and it just weirded me out. And I think VR for therapy for things like that is really totally going to be a thing. So that's exciting. Cool.
Plus, I wanted to use it to bring it to like retirement homes and stuff where people can't go places.
Yeah.
And take them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even like war coverage, this could change things for people. Seeing things like you're there, I think has a huge possibility of amping up empathy for people for things, and a lot of possibilities with it.
Well, that's the key thing with VR. It opens up the ability to have empathy.
Yeah.
In games.
Yeah,
and
that's
not just games, but everything.
Yeah.
And I actually just read a article about exactly that, how it's...
Yeah, shooting people in VR is a different experience. It's because you're holding the gun, you're aiming it, and you're seeing the results of it, and it's completely changes that experience from I'm just going to mow a bunch of people down to suddenly it's way more personal.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of interesting problems with it. We're totally dovetailing, but have you read about the Swayze effect in VR? They call it. It's based off of the movie Ghost, and
yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the thing about being in VR and the way that they program games now, and the way that you look at characters and they don't really respond to you, it has this weird ghost effect where it feels like you're not really there. And you can have, how do you deal with the problem of leaning up too close to a wall, and are you going to be allowed to see past it, or how do you deal with collisions and all kinds of weird problems that VR introduces, but lots of possibilities. Really exciting. Yeah. A lot of haters. Yeah, a lot of haters on VR, but I think once people try it.
That's because they've never tried it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not out yet. It's like the NX. We can.
Yeah.
I tried it out in the 90s, and since the 90s,
I did too.
Wanted it.
Seriously.
I went hang gliding in virtual reality.
The only experience I had back then, I actually did something that the guy told me that nobody had ever done before in the 5 years of him demoing it. I climbed to the top of a building and jumped off. Yeah. Which was kind of fitting because I did that in real life.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said it on me.
Maybe not intentionally, but
yeah. All right. Well, all right. Good stuff. We could probably do a whole episode on VR.
Oh, yeah.
The future of VR. It's not a bad idea. I don't want to write it down. I don't like the idea. I'm not sold on VR yet at all.
Well, when I get my next headset, you're coming up and you're trying it out.
No.
What I see is people doubting, trying, and then becoming evangelists, basically.
Yep.
Just preaching from the hill that they've witnessed a newborn.
Sounds like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
You don't get it, but once you do, you're in there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, back on point here. So, yeah, bought a bunch of stuff on sale. That's cool. Here's a fun one. Now, as I mentioned, we were going to do a recording of this episode on Christmas Day. Obviously, didn't work out. But, I'll tell you what else didn't work out. Steam. What the hell happened, Steam? I believe it was a DDoS attack once again, but...
it started out with a DDoS.
Yeah, I don't know if I know you have a link open if you want to read out of it, but long story short, you go on Steam on Christmas Day and you would see someone else's account, not your own. like someone's account that you wouldn't be able to see unless you knew their password and be able to get into it. Now, personal information wasn't necessarily shown. A lot of that was like blanked out, as it always is.
Yeah.
Protect everyone, even yourself, if you're on a public computer. But yeah, it was messed up.
But there was also, if somebody was in the middle of a purchase or had something in their cart, you could go to the checkout page. You couldn't actually buy it, but you could go to the checkout page and you could see their full information, the last 4 digits of the credit card, but it also gave the full phone number, the full address, and their full name.
It sounds like a database issue, like their unique ID was messed up.
It was a caching issue.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I always get freaked out, like with Steam and these things where you save your credit card, or even if you delete it, like, is it really gone? You know, is it, because on the front end they can say, oh yeah, it's not there anymore, but on the back end they could be holding it still, and that always weirds me out about that. But I'm always like deleting. I never keep my credit card in Steam. I make the purchase and then I just erase the thing. I do it once basically. But yeah, that was freaky. That was freaky. Like, it was a little concerning. They would have, luckily, no purchases.
It was horrifying.
Well, just the way that it was set up, you can't purchase with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was showing images. It was like screenshots. You weren't actually interacting with the page itself. Yeah, it's like seeing old versions of web pages through.
Yeah. I gotcha. Google. Yeah.
I've got some statements here. On December 25th, a configuration error resulted in some users seeing Steam Store pages generated for other users. That's happened for about 34,000 users, which contain sensitive personal information, many of which have been returned and seen by other users. Gadzooks. Apparently, no, that's for a couple hours, but
Gadzooks
like
indeed.
An eternity when we had it open. It's like, oh, God, is mine going to show up?
Yeah.
Valve is currently working with our web caching partner to identify users whose information was served to other users, and will be contacting those affected once they've been identified. No unauthorized actions were allowed on accounts beyond the viewing of cached page information. No additional action is required by users. Damn. Steam, come on. Of course, they did it on Christmas when obviously no one's going to be in the office.
Yeah.
Except hackers. Hackers never take a break. Man. So, it's more or less fixed now. I mean,
yeah. So it was fixed that day.
Steam, but yeah. Well, they eventually just blacked the store out, and you couldn't really access much of anything.
I mean, I assume you could still log in and play your games, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't try. Most of it's just installed on your hard drive, anyways.
Okay.
I tried downloading a game while it was going on, and you could still download your games and install them and stuff. So anything in your library, you could still access. It wasn't part of it. It was just the store front end that was hit, not the game servers.
Mm-hmm. No, I hope it's fixed now and hope it won't happen again, but you never know. TDOS.
Yeah, just wait till next Christmas.
Sure.
It'll be fine.
We'll see what
and then it'll blow up.
Okay, so who here likes Tekken 7? Well, it's not out yet, but who likes Tekken in general?
Well, I heard that they're throwing in a VR component to the new Tekken.
Tekken.
Tekken. It's the combination of Tekken and Pikmin.
Tekken. Sounds like an old anime. Actually, let's see what's going on in the chat here.
Oh, we're just talking about VR porn in the chat.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, Rebel says you watched Bob Ross for 3 hours in one sitting one time.
Yeah, I just would have that
Bob Ross. Money goes to charity, so that's good.
That's nice.
Xbox One bundles are really good on Black Friday. Yeah. VR talk, porn.
This is VR porn podcast.
The porn cast.
I'll bring them in. We'd probably get some sponsors out of that.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, Tekken 7 coming out soon. It's in the arcades, I think, in Japan. Maybe they're testing it out. But there's been a character announced, one we didn't expect coming. It is Akuma from Street Fighter. What? So, I think this is straight up like proper Tekken 7, and they've just dropped in a Capcom Street Fighter into Tekken. It's weird. Like I think he's just embedded into the storyline now.
which is weird.
Yeah. Now, as we all know, Capcom would do crossovers every now and then. Like back in the day, they did Capcom versus SNK. I love those games.
Which was
Capcom versus
awesome.
SNK 2, are arguably my most beloved of all fighting games.
Don't forget Air G's.
Yeah, this Square. We had Tatsunoko versus Capcom. That was a weird one. That was on the Wii. Now we
Marvel
had
versus Capcom.
yeah, of course, Marvel's Capcom. We had yeah, he just made me forget it. I hate you.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken, that came out. That didn't do too well with the people. They had that weird thing with the gems you had to add into your characters. It was like a weird RPG sort of thing, and apparently the balancing was all off for people. Like characters would do the exact same damage depending on what button you pressed. Didn't matter which character you picked. So some would be grossly overpowered as a result of this because they'd be faster or something like this. Now, basically, Capcom and Namco were able to borrow each other's IPs for this. Now, Capcom made their game, didn't do too well as the one I just mentioned, but Namco, we still are waiting to see what they're going to do with the Capcom license, but nothing yet. No news has come out of there being a proper crossover between Street Fighter and Tekken on Namco's side of things. But now we have Akuma in Tekken 7. So that's the start of that whole alliance they put together. So who knows? Maybe Tekken 7 might actually be Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but on the Namco side of things, they could announce more Street Fighters. Who knows? Fascinating.
It'd be easy enough to put it in, but I want to know what the fighting style is going to be, like the controls and stuff.
It's still Tekken based, but you can do some of the moves. There's a video they put out where it's pretty fun because you can see Akuma throwing a fireball, and then the guy it's fighting against just sidesteps it because it's a 3D fighter.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I mean, Tekken's not really projectile based at all, right?
No.
No.
I'd like to see Chun-Li in there doing her leg kick and then sidestepping and kicking her in the back.
It just whiff. Yeah, she just goes by.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah, it's neat to see them do that. You know what that reminds me? Remember, and this might be out there, but do you guys remember magazines, game magazines back in the day? They did an April Fool's where Akuma was going to be in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was pretty neat. They photoshopped Akuma into one of the scenes. Like there's like a bunch of jars with like monsters in them, and Akuma was in one of them. Then he breaks out. Then you can play as Akuma, and it was like the Street Fighter EX Akuma, so it was like 3D.
yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah. Except I don't think this one's an April Fool's Day joke.
Yeah. I feel like there was something about this kind of crossover stuff way back in the day, even because I remember like Electronic Gaming Monthly had that rumors section.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
same idea.
Yeah.
Like when they had a bunch of secret moves each Street Fighter could do, or being able to fight Shenlong. Those are the days, man.
Yeah.
Or the secret fatalities in Mortal Kombat. That
later became real.
in future games.
Yeah, they're like, well, we should do that.
I like that. Impossible X Girl in the chat says, "Oh my God, Tekken was my childhood. Used to love playing that with my brother and nudging him to make him lose." All you gotta do is unplug his controller and you're set. Nice.
Yeah.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Namco. Yep, I'll see about that. Mega Man versus Street Fighter. Damn it, that's all Capcom. That doesn't count.
Yeah, but it's still awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, do you think it makes sense for them to consolidate the Tekken 7, this crossover capability that they have with the Capcom license is to just do it in one game, to say Tekken 7, but it's also got the Street Fighter element into it, or from a money making standpoint, would it make more sense that they split it out? Like,
I'd rather see it pieced out, certain characters on either game. So you could only play like Akuma and whoever on Tekken side, and then the other game won't have all the Street Fighter characters because those characters are gone in the Tekken tournament.
Yeah, someone noted
that's how I would do it.
That it might be happening at the same time as Street Fighter V because Akuma isn't in Street Fighter V. Maybe it's because he's over hanging out with the Tekken boys.
Yeah, I could see something like that.
It's neat though. It's fun.
Yeah.
We'll see how that
I just want to see more Spawn in games like Soul Calibur.
Right. I just feel bad that it's like the biggest news to happen to Tekken, and it's that they added someone from Street Fighter.
Well, it's not the only news. They're adding PlayStation VR support for it.
Yeah, back to your VR discussion. I'm sure you've heard about that one where it's like a summer vacation thing. What is that called? VR Tekken. Some. I don't remember what it's called. It's like you're like in a summer on a beach and there's like a girl there and
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm
My
surprised.
interests
because I
are
figured-
piqued enough.
What is that called?
Go on, a beach.
Naked women, or
A
at least
girl.
scantily clad.
What else?
I don't know what to search for that in Google. Oh, I misspelled Tekken. That might be it. Oh, I didn't. How is Tekken spelled? Tekken.
I think there's a silent Q in there.
Summer lesson? Is that what you're talking about?
That's the one.
Oh, that's where you're like a teacher or something?
Something like that. You're like hanging out with like a pop singer or something.
Yeah, and you can like oogle, look at her when she's not looking, and it's kind of creepy. You can creep on a girl,
That's the
basically.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were. How is that a Tekken game?
It is. It's super loosely related. We're talking about a lot of preliminary information. We don't know a lot of things, unfortunately, but it is fascinating. We'll see how it develops. Summer lesson. Yeah, good times. Good times. Keep being you, Japan. We love it.
You
Yeah.
do you.
Exactly. You do you.
You do your weird tentacle creepy shit, and we'll just keep smiling and nodding.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. We mentioned Kojima. You guys want to go over that, or is everyone pretty much up to speed on that? Konami's sort of getting rid of video games in their world, and Kojima got shut out of that video game awards show, and then they called them out on it, and everyone hated Konami further on Twitter.
I think the more... Go for
sorry,
it.
go ahead.
No, you go.
And then he went and started a new company,
Yeah.
and then immediately got signed on with Sony.
Yeah, I think that's
good news.
the big news. Is this whatever he's doing is going to be exclusive to Sony. So at least initially, his first thing, and it probably won't be out for like 4 years or whatever because it's gonna.
Oh, yeah.
But that's interesting, especially with the next year PlayStation VR is coming out. His logo for his company it indicates a helmet over someone because it's like a skull with like. So
Yep.
it's kind of I almost wonder because he's a guy who likes to tease something before you even know that's happening, like with the PT and all that, and so I almost wonder if he's planning something like that. But who knows?
And once again, we're just looking forward to the future, seeing what they've got planned.
Yeah. I think it's more. What's exciting about that isn't the drama; it's the possibilities now that he's free from his shackles.
Question is, was it just the fact that he was working on those games and he's been doing those games for so long?
Yeah.
Will he actually have anything new?
Yeah.
Well, he's probably got a book full of ideas.
Yeah.
I think we were saying before, like Konami wanted to make more Metal Gears, so that's what people were buying. Like they've got games, they made a bunch of games, but no one bought them. I actually bought a few of them at the EB Games deep clearance.
Nice.
Like that one of the zombie guy that like breaks apart his body parts, Everdead or whatever it was.
He always
Like
brings
Norm
up
played.
he always brings up that he's always in. He always wants. If he could have, he would have been a film director. So whatever it is, I think
he basically is. Let's be real.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll always have that slant to it, and it'll be interesting. I mean, we'll see. It's exciting.
It's neat they didn't have to do the public funding route like other people had to do.
Oh God! Don't
Yeah.
even start on that stuff.
Yeah.
Screw
Yeah.
Double Fine.
We got Igarashi's Bloodstained game. We got Shenmue that was funded. We got Mighty Number 9. That's almost out.
Yeah.
Crowdfunded.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
What a weird world, eh? All these big names that were just things didn't work out with the companies that made them huge, and it's like, why? Why would you get rid of these huge assets? It's weird.
Yeah.
And I'm a man who
'Cause they
loves
want
huge
pachinko.
assets, if you know what I'm saying. I think that went over their heads. I'm talking bums. Final Fantasy on Steam, getting them fixed by modders. That was yours, Kyle. You want to go over that at all?
It was so.
Fuck it, Huge Assets is the episode's title, just for leaving me hanging there.
They put the crappiest version of Final Fantasy VI onto Steam.
Yeah.
Like, I would have rather seen the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one for I think it was Game Boy was actually really well done, but instead they picked the one that they shoveled onto mobile.
Wait, is there a Final Fantasy VI on Game Boy?
I think so.
Advance, right? On the Advance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really... Yeah, go ahead.
It was just really well done on the Game Boy.
Game Boy Advance.
They updated the audio and did all kinds of crap to it.
Nice. Yeah. That must be hard to find, because I don't recall ever finding that anywhere. 6. I know 4 is everywhere.
Yeah.
And rightly so. It's arguably the best Final Fantasy.
Well, opinion. I think it just shows that whoever's making these decisions, they're so disconnected from what it is that people like about this stuff. It's just so strange, you know. Why change it at all? You know, the pixel art was so great and it was fine. You know, if you're going to update it, at least give some care to it. But it's almost like, you know, you just threw it in Photoshop and then used the cartoon filter or whatever it is and called it a day, basically.
Well, I think what it is, they picked the one that sold the best.
Yeah, because it was the mobile one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Businessman always makes the big decisions at the end. Wherever they think the most money will end up.
Whichever it has the least amount of effort to port it over.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is the cost of doing that was so... It was already running on computer, you know, on PC already to develop for mobile. They might as well just, you know...
Yeah, apparently it's Final Fantasy VI Advance, which would make sense.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of this, though.
Yeah, I bought it.
Yeah.
Do you have it there?
In a box somewhere, but yeah.
Okay.
Only thing
that's 4.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
The only thing about the advanced, like those ones, is that the audio, the music's real tinny.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great, but the sound is just a little too compressed.
Well, they had to compress it so much because it was on a cartridge.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was better than the Super Nintendo one.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. I'm ready.
Let's see. I'm checking the chat here. What do we get?
So these the modders for... Oh, sorry. I'm totally... Go ahead.
It's okay. Rebel's just saying I think Namco didn't know how to make a game with the Street Fighter character and Tekken characters. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And we're not... Oh, DOA Volleyball. Is that in here? Nope. That's a different episode. I was going to do a future episode Smut in Gaming.
the
but I want to talk about all the
Capmax
sexy games
Hypecast?
coming out soon. Yeah, that's a future episode. But we will definitely cover the DOA volleyball game that is not being allowed into North America because
it's not that it's not allowed. They're just not North Americanizing it.
I know, which is why I want it. I want it so bad. Damn. How many games does Crit? Your damn name. How many games does Cricket have in his room?
Crit.
Oh man. Well, I mean, so for the business we have almost 7,000 games.
Damn,
a lot of them are...
I was going to say 3.
For those of us listening to this on a purely podcast format, in his background there's just games.
Yeah. Personally, you know, it's not close. It's not even close to that. You know, maybe I don't know. I prune a lot, so maybe like 200 of my personal collection.
Those are mostly PS2 games, right?
Yeah, a lot of what we sell is PS2. But
I've got those same shells. They sort of put them together, right?
yeah, those Aver Media ones. But yeah, we do mostly disc-based games. So we got Xbox, PS2. We'll sell some of the newer stuff, but we resurface the games and all that stuff. So primarily PS2 though. That's what people buy.
All right, good stuff. So we mentioned some Kojima talk. We mentioned some Final Fantasy talk, and apparently Final Fantasy VI Advance is a thing. I'm gonna have to look that up. It must be really expensive now.
I don't know. I bought it when it was new.
I think it might be on the Virtual Console too for the Wii.
Really? Huh. Okay, that's cool. So, best of luck to the modders out there on quote-unquote fixing Final Fantasy on Steam.
Basically downgrading the graphics.
Actually, this is pretty recent news, but they recently announced Final Fantasy 9 is coming out on smartphones and PC as well. That's a good one too. That's arguably my second favorite Final Fantasy. Yeah, 9. That was a good one. That was on the last PS1 Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I definitely recommend trying both of those for anyone that hasn't gotten around to them yet.
I couldn't get into 9.
9 is so good. You try it again. Might work for you this time.
Yeah. I have to break out my old PS1 then.
Or you get the PC one that's coming out soon.
It'll be a horrible port though.
It looks good. There's I guess a gameplay trailer. It just shows they really.
But yeah, I mean, even the trailer shows that they at least took the original renders and used the masters or something, because the cutscenes look way better than the 320 by 120 pixel PS1 versions that were cropped in screen, even more so that it would play fast enough. So it looks like they touched it up real nice.
I don't think it'll need to be fixed by modders like Final Fantasy 6 here will.
No.
But yeah, good stuff. Final Fantasy 9 coming out. That's fresh news for our interesting news segment, which is now done with, I think. So, how are we doing on time? We're about 2.5 hours in. Well, let's see if we can finish this off in half an hour or so. I did promise in the last episode we would discuss some spooky games for our Halloween episode, which is now being recorded here in January the 2nd. Now, we've actually mentioned a bunch of them already. Now we just wrote up a list of spooky games. You guys are all looking at the list too, right? Does anyone here have any games they specifically have played recently that they want to just discuss?
I
mean, I do if you don't, but that's what
I can talk about Dread-Eye.
Okay, start us off with some Dread-Eye talk.
Well, VR again, which that is one thing that it is made for is horror games. Horror games are amazing on VR. And this one, basically, you're sit in a wheelchair, and right at the beginning, some creepy woman comes up with a pair of scissors and just starts jabbing you in the stomach.
Well, that's mean.
Yeah.
And this isn't Dread Out, right? That's a different game.
No, Dread Out is something different.
Okay.
Dread-Eye it's just a VR demo experience. There's not much to it. It's like maybe 10 minutes long.
Okay.
And I wouldn't really call it a game. It's an experience.
Yeah. That's another episode right there, games versus experiences.
But you sit there, all kinds of weird, creepy things happen. They're pushing you down this abandoned hallway, and there's cobwebs in front of you, and it looks like real cobwebs breaking in front of your face.
Ew.
The audio on it is really good, really creepy, and at some point a really creepy mermaid zombie thing comes up out of a pool of blood. So yeah.
Jeez.
Just to derail everything, Rebel does confirm he is interested in being in the Smut in Gaming episode, so we will definitely look into that. Now, I guess you need one of these dev kits to even make any VR game, right? Is that what you had in briefly? Was that?
Yeah, it was a dev kit. But technically, you don't to make a game for VR, you don't need VR. They're in Unreal the Unreal Engine and Unity, there's basically a plugin that you could do that ports your game to VR.
Hmm.
You just have to program your game around people looking around.
Yeah, basically. What is it called? Dread-Eye or Dead-Eye?
Dread-Eye.
Is that one word or two?
I think it's
Okay,
one.
it's Dread-Eye Octopus. Because I looked it up and I got Dread-Eye. It looks like a reggae singer.
I don't I don't think I could do horror in VR, man. I'm never gonna do that.
Oh man, I can't wait.
No, I can't.
I can't
That's not
wait to
happening.
play Alien Isolation in VR.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Is that in our list? We got to talk about that a bit.
It's not on the list, but I already brought it up, so it's there now.
We can move over to it now, but if it sounds like you're the one that even knows this Dread-Eye exists, because I can't even find it on Google.
Yeah, unless you have VR, you don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not a normal game that you would play. You can't. It's not good enough to play just as a game, because you don't get to control anything except looking around.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like you said, it's an experience.
Yeah.
Is it almost like a little movie that you're just like looking around?
It's sort of a movie, but it's meant to freak you out.
Okay.
And there's one, I think it's for the PlayStation VR that's being demoed out in the conventions called The Kitchen, which is really tripping a lot of people out, like getting your fingers cut off and things like that.
Yeah. That's just gore, though.
Well, they have that one where they
gore horror, or is it its own genre at this point?
That's a good point. It makes me wonder, what kind of warnings are they going to have for this VR stuff? Is the rating system even designed to handle what could be traumatic for people if they're not expecting it?
Well, I think anybody right now getting into VR knows.
Yeah.
Because it's got such a high price point.
Yeah. Once it becomes a consumer product, I could see.
But you're looking at 2 to 3 years before it gets into the realm of it really affecting the mass market.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even a thing yet. I mean, all the money's being put towards it. It seems so. They're
I think Sony's the only
thing,
one who has the ability to get it to the mass market.
You say Sony?
Yeah, because they're coming out with PlayStation VR.
One too.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's depending on the price point. A big part of that, I think.
Well, look at it this way: Sony's got how many PS4 consoles out there?
Yeah, they definitely got the head start.
Yeah.
If they get even 7% of that install base to buy their $500 add-on, that turns it into a profitable system.
Yeah.
Which makes them pump out more at a reduced price.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which ups it to 10% to 15%. Once that PS4 install base expands, that's going to be the largest market for VR.
Well, and I could see at a certain point, because right now the unit's going to be external, plugged into the PlayStation. They're saying it's about the size of a Wii.
Yeah.
I could see it. We're going into a VR episode here. I should stop talking. But,
Sorry.
but
no, that's fine.
I could see Sony eventually packing in the technology into another new model of the PS4 so that it's there and ready, so the cost of the glasses is even cheaper, because if you have the new PS4, it's already ready.
Right.
And yeah, exactly what you're saying, basically. But it's exciting. I'm just so hyped. I'm really excited about this year.
That's what we want to hear on the Capmax Hypecast.
Yeah. This is the year, man.
I've been trying to keep it down, but it's just the most recent thing for me that I've done is VR stuff. So
Yeah.
It's kind of hard not to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, especially with horror, because like you said, it's easily one of the easiest genres to make VR
so
stuff.
Alien Isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Bring us back to that.
I played it on the PS3 a bit. I don't like that all games seem to be forcing crafting into their games.
Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of weird to imagine this character is like in a spooky, dark spaceship, and the alien's like standing behind them, tapping his claws, like, and he's like, okay, hold on a second, let me finish crafting this thing.
What? There's a crafting element in that game?
Yeah.
It's huge.
What?
You spend much of the
It's a
game just
survival
looking for scraps, and then you make like noise makers and like flares and.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, it's more than I was hoping.
It kind of makes sense, but at the same time, I don't want that in my Alien game.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. Is that it does kind of make sense. Like consider Alien 3 for an example, where it was just people stuck in like a prison planet, and they just had to literally just duct tape things together to try and stand a chance. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, see, the experience is a bit different with VR because I did get to try it.
No, you stop that.
I'm sorry. You're sitting there crafting, but you know how you're stuck there looking at it when you're playing the game. Well, when you got the headset going on, you could turn and look around to see if there's anything coming.
They did that already in Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, but Alone in the Dark sucked.
Apparently. What system was that one for?
Wii U? Or no, I'm saying a Zombie U.
That game is awesome. You shut.
I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm just saying.
No, but there's one of the Alone in the Dark reboots. That was the thing. Is like everything, whenever you did a health kit or whatever, it was done in real time, which I like because I hate when you can play a horror game and there's a monster right behind you. If you touch it, you're dead. But then you get to the loading screen door and you're safe. I hate that. That is the worst thing to do in any.
Loading times are horrible in horror games.
No, when you know that you can reach the loading screen door and you'll instantly be safe on the other side. Because you'll get to the door, you'll click on it, and then loading. Yeah. 10 seconds of loading, everything, you get to the next room, and then there's no monster. It's just you're safe. That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
You should never design a game around that sort of thing.
I'd like to hear more about Allison Road, though, because I haven't had a chance to try it, and I've only seen little bits and pieces of it.
Okay, so it's Alone in the Dark 2008. Developed by Eden Games for PC, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and it was also on the PS2 and Wii. God damn. That'd be a fun game to stream. Where's my list here? What are we talking about? Alien Isolation. Just before we jump on, I want to say I like that you can dick around and the alien will show up in spooky scenes. I might have mentioned this already before, but there's a scene pretty early in the game where you have to, your helper guy dies. And then you're like, oh god, this elevator has to get here or the alien will kill me. And I was just like, nah, the alien's not going to show up. So I just dicked around and didn't get on the elevator. Then the alien showed up and killed him. I was like, yeah, I like that. I respect that.
I respect you, alien.
Yeah. Because there's one of those moments, where it's those games where it's like, it's just artificial fear. The music's getting all intense. Like, whatever. I'm supposed to run away and follow the script. But I didn't follow the script and then I died. So that was cool. I like that. I don't like that in the Alien Isolation, the synthetic people just, for whatever reason, go crazy and suddenly start killing humans. I don't know if that's ever explained in the game. I sure hope it is. But in the story, you're just doing the routine, playing the campaign, and the synthetic people just go crazy at some point. You don't know why, and then they try and kill you. You're just like, why?
Yeah, the same reason Bishop went crazy.
Bishop was like, he was told by the company, though. I don't know. It's weird. Allison Road, have we heard anything new on that one yet?
Very little.
Yeah.
At least me. I haven't heard much.
A game basically made because PT was awesome and then taken away. So another guy was like, well, hey, I might as well make a super clone of PT and then I'll make all that money they're not making by removing it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it because I never got to play PT because I don't have a PS4 yet and I can't get it now. But if you liked watching PT on live streams or YouTube videos and you wanted to try it yourself, Allison Road for the PC, I'm guessing, that should fill the void left behind by PT. Long story short, you're a person in a house. Things are spooky. There's a girl who's going to choke you, and then you're dead, and then restart, and that's. I think
the release date is to be announced in 2016.
Yeah, is that on Steam yet? I know it was in Greenlight or something, but then they went to public funding, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, wait and see. Should be cool. What else do we have on this list? I don't see it here, which is strange. What is that game I kept going on about? Layers of Fear, which is not on this list, but once again, a game not unlike PT, where you're sort of just wandering around, interacting with stuff, Shenmue style. I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the last episode. I do want to mention, though, that they've been updating it because it's not done yet. It's one of these early access games. So I would replay it every time they did an update, which is kind of fun to see how they change stuff.
Mm.
I played the most recent build, and I'll tell you what, I didn't like it. I don't like the changes they made. I don't like the new areas they added. There's this one room in the earlier builds that was just a really small, empty room. I like that room. It's just like you're just going through the mansion, the campaign, whatever. And then there's this one room. It's empty. You know, there's nothing there. It's just a really small room. I just thought it was neat, empty room. Then they added things to the room, and now it's just another boring room.
Mm.
I like the empty room more.
By the emptiness, it had more character than
Exactly.
when they cram stuff into it.
It's like, why does this room exist? Why isn't it just a hallway? I don't know. Just the way it is in a weird old house.
Yeah.
It's neat.
It's funny because when you had this as the topic, I couldn't think of, because I'm kind of a baby when it comes to scary games. I'll admit it. And so for me, like, it's not so much like when I think spooky in games, I think moments, not so much in particular games. I made some notes about, like, in Ocarina of Time, when you first travel forward and you see the effects of time, and like the world is just distraught, like that always freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
That just left, like, really kind of got.
Does that.
Yeah, yeah. And also the grave digger going inside the grave digger's that one grave, and then the undead. That's the scream they give just freaked me out.
Oh yeah. Freeze time, and then you can't move. You're like, oh my god, what's going on? And he grabs your face.
Yeah. This is gonna sound stupid, but Peakman, because I mentioned it earlier. But when I think it's because the game is so grounded in nature, even though it's this fantastical game, it still has it's kind of National Geographic, I guess, in presentation, and then it takes place in like a natural world. And when the Peakmen die, that always weirded me out. Because it's like I let them down and now they're gone forever, and so the way that it presented death in that game, like, kind of always bothered me, because I just felt horrible when it would happen.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
it's like,
and then
what is it, Defender, the old arcade shooting game where you save the little people, but they can die too. Like,
yeah,
no!
Yeah, and then
Choplifter.
Yeah. Oh man, I played that on the Apple II like nobody's business.
You just run over the people. Oops.
Yeah. Nice. But the only other thing that really stands out in my mind, besides the classics like Resident Evil and those, is early 3D games had this thing where the worlds weren't developed yet because they didn't have enough polygons and computational power to really populate the world. So the worlds, even if it wasn't supposed to be like necessarily a scary game, they always felt really empty and hollow, and that always was off-putting or felt very unnatural in a lot of ways. And Silent Hill used that to its advantage. But a lot of the early 3D games have this eerily empty feeling to it, which Gran Turismo 3, or sorry, Grand Theft Auto 3. What am Gran Turismo? Grand Theft Auto 3 was like, revolutionary, but when you think about it, the world's kind of empty and it's hollow, and it has this weird ghost town feeling to it. That's not intentional, but now with the way games are so populated, can actually kind of come off a little weird and spooky. But that's for me, that's spooky. So
no, that's good.
Yeah.
That's what we want. That's why I put Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and even Amnesia at the top there, just said series. That's if we need to fall back on them, but it's that unsettlingness. That's sometimes where the best stuff is. That's why I put caves in Minecraft down here.
Yeah.
I always find that's some of the creepiest stuff in gaming.
Yeah, the unknown, and especially, obviously if you have the enemies on, it adds another element to it. But yeah.
Procedurally generatedness of it, so you really don't know what's coming up next. And the monsters are generally pretty quiet until they're right on you.
Yep.
It's Especially those Endermen, man. I wish I could have been streaming it this one time when I was playing PC Minecraft, and there's like, I had this thing where I'm looking down at like huge ass crevices and ravines. I always seem to find those, and they're really spooky and dark. And way down at the bottom one, there's like an Enderman, and I looked at him, and I was like, it's fine. So I go back in my little base of operations there, and then I walk a couple steps, and boom, he's right in front of me. Oh, motherfucker! I was like, drop my shit all over the place, and then it's like, I gotta equip my shit. And like, like that kind of instant panic out of nowhere, because these monsters, they teleport.
Yeah.
And he was way, way, way far away, like at the bottom of this huge crevice. I didn't know that he'd be able to teleport that close. Or even more recently in Minecraft, they updated so that certain zombies can bust down your doors, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know they could do that right away. And I heard that some zombies can't do it. Like, they can attack the door, but they can't bust it open. And then one of them did bust it open. It's like, oh, jeez, I didn't think that could happen.
Yeah. And I noticed another thing they've added in Minecraft is it feels like sometimes you'll get swarmed. Like, every once in a while, suddenly there's just this ambush that can happen. Like, normally it's peaceful and stuff, and you know, you do what you can to keep them away by lighting everything up and stuff. But every once in a while, suddenly there's like a swarm that'll happen, usually at night. Obviously with the zombies, and it's just this new thing that's just, you know, extra creepy. Yeah.
It's a
At least,
good game,
for little baby gamers like me.
Oss in the chat recommends The Tape. I'm looking it up on Steam here. The Tape is slow and creepy first-person horror game. That's how it's literally typed out, with mystical story and abstract psychological elements. $3 on sale. Looks interesting. Yeah, creepy and cheap. He also asked if I have any new board games. I do. And you'll want to check out the Gamer Hall videos for some of those. Okay.
Did you guys play the Resident Evil Online on the PS2 back in the day?
I did not.
I didn't have online back in the day.
Yeah. Man, I would call up my buddy and we would play. Because what happens in that game is you'd split up. And I haven't seen this done in any recent games, but it was two-player. If I remember correctly, it's a two-player game. You'd start out together and you'd work puzzles together, and then you'd at a certain point you'd have to split up. And so you wouldn't know what was happening to the other player. So we would call each other up on the phone, and it like he'd be like, "There's a giant effing spider," and like and I'm like, "Oh, that's fun. I'm just in the hallway and nothing's going on." And it had this it really worked really well, and I just haven't seen any games do that, but it was that cool collaborative effort was involved in it. And then if they died, you'd see them later on if you went the same area they went, and they would be zombie, obviously, and you'd have to kill them. Which it was interesting. It was, I guess you could call it asymmetrical, but
I'm thinking Resident Evil 5 and 6 kind of did that, but that was like you could see the other guy's screen. I don't know if those were ever done online or not. Maybe Resident Evil 6 might have. No, I think both of them can do online co-op. I should try that sometime. I think our friend Dean from the Round 2 Gaming YouTube channel has those games. We were talking about doing some online co-op many months ago, and it never happened. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. What's that other game? It's a game with the characters who are named after the kids from South Park. It's on Steam now. I can't remember what it's called, but it's another one of those games where it's like kind of like Resident Evil Camera, and you can do co-op. You sort of work together. You're in a school. You might know what I'm talking about. I don't remember what it's called.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, kind of a random name or just unimaginative name. All right, just a few things left on our list here. Until Dawn, anyone play that? I've heard good things, but
heard good things, seen some streams. That's about it.
Yeah, it's probably cool. I like the idea of it, where it's like kind of cinematic, but you're like running from the spooky boogeyman, and you pick one and go under the table, or go in the random doorway, or climb up the ladder.
You gotta keep the kids alive.
Yeah.
Or you can let them die.
Yeah. Seems like a kind of fun choose your own adventure style way of doing things.
Yeah.
Then I wrote a question here. Do spooky games prefer the PC? I think they do. I feel like you can get away with more. Like as far as like violence and gore and sexual.
Yeah, well, there's no censors.
Yeah.
Definitely
No,
do a lot more here.
I'd agree.
And indie games.
Mm-hmm.
Indie
It's
games
easier.
do it better.
Infinitely easier to get like with the Steam Greenlight, for example, like Layers of Fear, where you're literally watching them put the game together and make changes.
Yeah, I think the other thing too with PC and creepy games is there's a lot more experimentation that can happen because of the indie aspect of it. You get a weird game where you're a security guard at a kid's, Chuck E. Cheese basically,
Oh, God.
and it's like, yeah, it's like, well, this shouldn't be fun at all or be anything.
And it's not.
Yeah, I think for some, a lot of people. Well, I haven't played it, but so you get this opportunity to try because it's kind of like there's a language in gaming. You know what feels right when you jump and swing a sword and stuff, and they're figuring that out. But now they're figuring out the language of like fear and how to make people uncomfortable and it's still being experimented with. Because it is kind of it's a really video games are niche in one way, and then this is like even more of a cross section of the certain type of gamer and stuff. So,
Yeah.
PC's the way to experiment with that for sure.
Well, that's exactly why Binding of Isaac is so addictive. Because it's got enough creepy, weird shit going on, but the gameplay is just so solid that once you pick it up, you can't stop.
Yeah.
Alright, so we were just mentioning the Five Nights at Freddy's game there. I don't know. I haven't played them yet. I have the first one. I bought it on the sale, and I haven't installed. I haven't tried it yet. I don't like from what I've seen of all the games. I think I like the first one the most. Like I've seen the more recent ones, and it seems like you can get caught by the animatronics more than once now. Is that accurate? You get like extra hits now, and then there's like they put one of their heads on so you like blend in, and there's that one where it's like there's just an empty dark hallway right in front of you for the whole time.
Yeah.
Like why would you put that as your base of operations? In the first one, it kind of makes sense because you're in like a security room, and there's like doors you lock when the bad guys are about to come in. But then there's the power management stuff. I think the first one makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why would you run out of power?
I think it's because the building was cheap or something.
They're running off a generator.
Yeah, like the guy that calls it each night, I think he sort of explains that. So it's like a super ghetto Chuck E. Cheese place. Did you guys see that Five Nights at Freddy's has a bunch of Funko merchandise coming out?
Oh, God.
There's like plushies coming out, little like Funko toys.
That guy's
the chibi things.
Gonna be rich now.
Mm-hmm. Even my beloved Mystery Minis has a Five Nights at Freddy's line coming out.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't mind one of the little foxy guys. That's cool. Like I mentioned before, Rattel, who does the Public Cocoon channel, I would recommend looking up his Five Nights at Freddy's videos because when he gets that scene with the foxy animatronic running down the hallway, that's brilliant. I love that video. Perfect reaction out of him from that one. Okay, we got Soma. In the last episode, I was talking about wanting to play it. It was in my which looking forwards to. But now I have played it. I have beat it. And I would say Soma is one of my favorite games of 2015. Highly recommended. Not really a game you can spoil so much. It's more about just dealing with life and what is life. And if you could copy your memory into a robot, would that robot then be alive, or is it just a facsimile and all these interesting ethical questions? At the end of the day, it's just like a spooky monsters running around, so avoid the spooky monsters kind of game. You sort of do puzzles, but not really. I was thinking about they did something really neat there in that the game takes place underwater, which is already super isolative. Is that a word?
Mm-hmm. Isolated? Yeah.
Isolated. Maybe. And you're always looking for people, so it's like not only are you like in a spooky situation, but you're at the bottom of the ocean, which is a neat place to be for any spooky game because nothing's spookier than that deep sea. You know what I'm saying? Everything's all murky, and then there's like mysterious creatures. And near the end of the game, man, I don't want to go into it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played, but man, there are some creatures. Oh, that's a good scene. I was still on the fence about it because it was kind of an expensive game because it's still kind of new. But I was watching some Let's Plays up, and I got to I'd seen enough. Like, okay, yeah, this game is awesome. I gotta get in on this.
Yeah.
I mentioned I want to do a future episode where we talk about depressing sci-fi, so I'll probably sneak more Soma talk in there as well. And then we have I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Does anyone have any thoughts on that one?
It's old.
It is. Once again, a point-and-click adventure game where it's like 5 people who are each stuck in a personal hell because a sinister AI destroyed humanity or something like that, and there's 5 people left alive, and it just wants to fuck with those people. That's the whole game. I gotta play that game. I haven't played it yet. Once again, I've seen footage of it. Looks really cool, but just a matter of getting around to doing it. But
It was one of those that my friend had, and I never got to play it because he hogged the damn thing.
Would have been great to play back in the day.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned, spooky, just atmosphere. Like I'm thinking of Riven now, a game I always love to mention.
Yeah, Mist and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
just you know it wasn't ever going to happen, but you just felt like somebody was around the corner or something was around the corner, and
Sometimes they were.
yeah, that's true.
Every now and then you get that one little like in-game full motion video in Riven.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, what's a prison? You'll see like houses, but they're always locked. And every now and then you'll click back to an area and you'll see like a little like Indian garbed person in the house, and then they slam the door. It's like, oh my god, there's actually people here.
Yeah.
But yeah, any game that can really do that sense of isolation, that's great. That's spooky game.
Speaking of Mist,
right there.
over in Vancouver, there's one of those Mist experiences where you have to solve puzzles in a room.
Oh, that's cool.
You're just locked in a room. You have to try and figure your way out.
Celix, who I was mentioning before, was going to be in this episode. He did those recently. He said they're really cool.
How do you ask for a refund on something like that? Because, if you didn't solve it, it's kind of your fault.
Well, you're in a room with I think 5 people.
Yeah.
So if you go in as a party with your friends, it's good. But if you go in, you're just like one person. You're stuck in a room with another group of random people.
Oh, I see.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wasn't satisfied with the experience. It wasn't up to the terror level that I'd expect.
I would expect to be locked in a room. And when I was a kid in Texas, there's this haunted house built into a hotel, but it was only open a couple weeks a year. And they would take you up to the top floor and lock you in the room, and then cut the power. And throughout it, they had trapdoors, hidden walls, all kinds of shit, and you had to make your way out. I wasn't old enough, but I had friends who went through it, and oh man, I wish I could have done it.
Yeah, that's not for me. No.
People
would jump out in like Jason masks and grab you and stuff.
Yeah, no.
Nice. I hear there's
go with friends. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I think Victoria has one of those now as well, actually.
I
know Vancouver has some, but I think there's one maybe in Victoria as well. Speaking on behalf of our Canadian West Coast. Yeah. I was going to say something else. Oh, I heard on the Super Best Friend cast they were talking about something in Quebec where you go into this, once again, one of those abandoned, I guess it was like a hotel, but they do theirs. It's like a spooky play. Or it's kind of like a murder mystery, but you can, like, you're there, but it's like a live action play.
So you just follow them around.
Yeah.
And they keep doing. Yeah, I've seen those.
It's an interesting idea. Normally those things aren't cheap though. It's like $100 going or something like that. Like they're not cheap experiences to do. I really don't see the appeal. I guess if you've got the money to burn, but
yeah, but it doesn't count because it's in Quebec.
Yeah.
Quebec sucks.
Oh, Quebec. Thanks for putting French in all of our merchandise.
Sure.
All right. Well, that was a good discussion. We got some spooky game talk in there.
Got some Quebec bashing.
I never have enough of that. All right, good stuff. Anyone else have any other games I want to bring up? I know in the chat, Oz mentioned System Shock and Clock Tower 3 as 2 more shout-outs.
Oh, yeah. Good games.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a new System Shock coming out. I hear that's on the way.
Yeah, probably in like a couple years.
Yeah, we'll see. All in due time.
If they try and kickstart that,
No. I hope they don't need to. I'm not even sure who has a license for that now, though. Alrighty. Well, let's shut down our spooky game talk, our Halloween episode in January. Next, I guess episode will be Merry Christmas games, of which there aren't too many. No, we won't be doing any of that. We've got plenty of upcoming episode ideas already. Yeah. All right. Well, then about does it for our episode. So as we always do, we've got our what you've been looking forward to, and then we'll give everyone a chance to pimp out their YouTube channels or whatnot. So what you've been looking forward to? We'll start with Kyle on that one.
what am I looking forward to? I don't know. Pretty much anything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, I guess we got
Doctor Strange.
Infinity Glove guy. When's that one coming out?
Oh, that one's 2018.
Ooh, damn.
But this year we've got Doctor Strange and
Cap? Is that?
Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
That might be fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. I can't wait. I can't wait for like people to experience the anger of picking a side that movie will have. That'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially during a election year for the states. I don't think it's going to segue too much into what's going on politically speaking, but we'll see.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Iron Man is just like Donald Trump.
I can see that. Comes to one of his things in like a mech suit.
He's got the money.
Yeah.
I know.
His next.
What I hate about rich people is that they never seem to do anything. Like he looks like the hair and the suit and the face. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Go prove to me that you're rich.
Stark's Mark 7 has like a comb-over looking piece of metal. It's constantly like blowing in the wind, and he's got to like put it back down.
Awkward. That'll be the best Avengers movie though, because they never have good villains. Ultron was okay. It always seems to boil down to them just defeating like disposable goons.
Oh, that's the other one.
Like the Hydras or whatever.
Screw the movies. I want to see Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Yeah, the Netflix stuff is great. Yeah, they can just go a lot more dark and violent on it than they can with the cinematic stuff.
And they're gearing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. up for the can't remember what they're called.
Well, the Inhumans?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a lot of people didn't give that a chance, and I'm trying to get my friends back into it, but they're just not watching it, and I think it's great.
You need to experience them and to like shove them into some Inhumans.
Right.
And then tell them, this is what's happening in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. I know, and who knows how they're going to tie it in with because they tie it in with the movies too, so seeing Cap 3. I'll tie. You know what? That's what I'm excited for too. I'm excited for the same things pretty much. So that's mine as well. And the next half of this season of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm excited to see it all play out.
I'm waiting for it to finish, and then I'm going to watch the whole season.
All right. I won't say anything.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Yeah. No, it's a good way to watch it.
Gotta love them binge watches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Lexi in the chat also mentions the clock tower from Majora's Mask. I should have put Majora's Mask on the list because that's definitely a creepy game.
Yeah. Especially all the theories behind what's really going on with it.
Yeah.
Especially the original N64 version, because what we were saying before about like the early 3D feel, always been unsettling, and that one definitely kicks it up a notch. I need to play the Majora's Mask on 3DS. I kind of put it down after picking up Monster Hunter. Man, that Monster Hunter. Oh. Definitely a good call from the chat there. Alrighty, anyone else have any further things you're looking forward to?
Well, I mean, the only other...
Because I got some, don't worry. But...
Oh, yeah.
I got two big ones.
I honestly, I mean, that for me, that's the next Star Wars movie, even though it's going to be a long time from now.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
I
I
didn't even
just,
mention that.
I just want to, I know, huh? But I just want to, I
Whatever.
want to see the next one now. Like, you know,
yeah,
I
but this
haven't.
year you've got Rogue One.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's so. I'm hyped about. I'll be hyped about Star Wars now that I know that it's in decent hands and it's being taken care of properly.
Yeah.
So.
Now that I know
I
it's not
haven't seen the
complete
new one.
crap.
Star Wars. The Force is late for work. After it awakens. Alright, good stuff. I'm looking forward to a bunch of Vita games that were recently announced. Once again, ever since I started playing Monster Hunter on the 3DS, I've kind of put the Vita to the side, but anyone who's heard my earlier episodes know I was super excited about having the Vita. What do we got? We got Gundam Extreme Versus coming out, so that's a mech game. There aren't nearly enough mech games. I've gone on about that
agree.
before. So we need to have access to a Gundam game that actually looks really good. And it's not just a Dynasty Warriors ripoff. God Eater, they announced we're finally getting that in North America, which is very cool, which is actually not unlike Monster Hunter. So I like that. We have a Senran Kagura game coming out. That's with the big booby ninja girls jumping around.
Oh, sweet.
What's it called again? Let me write that. No, I'm just.
What's it has a name?
It sounds interesting. When
It sounds very political.
yeah.
Now that's going to be on both Vita and PS4. So hey, if you want it on the big screen or the small screen, you're set.
Ooh, I gotta go big screen.
Those collector's editions, oh man. And Game of Thrones. When the hell is my Game of Thrones? I think it's coming out in April. April, is that about right? I have it. I have the. Yeah, April HBO. I'll say Jon Snow's not dead because he's on the cover of their little HBO.
Well, maybe he dies halfway through.
He comes back just to die immediately. Same episode.
Yeah. Well, you know one that I completely forgot about? The Last Guardian.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, for me, No Man's Sky.
No.
PSVR. I'm more curious about what it's going to be like, how it's going to play, and then
I think it's just too much hype.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that too.
I hope there's a purpose in that game.
And then Final Fantasy Explorers. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
The new 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
the first chapter is supposed to be out the end of the year.
This year?
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess it's possible. It all depends how big they make their.
Well, they're just doing chapters. They're doing 3 chapters.
Yeah.
That would be huge too, and no doubt. All right. Well, that about does it for our
Cool.
show. So we'll give everyone a chance once again. Let's to pimp out their YouTube or Twitch channels or whatnot. So we'll start with Kyle again.
I can be found anywhere at Quatar the Odd. That's pretty much it. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. That's all I do at the moment.
Quatar.
The Odd.
There you go. All right, good stuff. And Matt?
Yeah, I mean, Twitter and YouTube is where I'm usually hitting up, but if you just go to cricket.com, KRIKIT.com, that's where you can find all the links to my stuff. Nothing there right now. It's a little empty because I just switched over to a new hosting system, but that's where you can find me.
Good stuff. Yeah, I was watching some of your backlog videos there. I watched the one on Aladdin for the Genesis.
Yeah. My wife and I, she's
Love
probably
that
going to
game.
do some more videos with me again. So
Yeah. It seemed that you guys sort of go back and forth.
yeah, that was the
I thought
idea.
That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, and I am, of course, Steven. Everyone, thank you for listening to episode 14, is it? Yeah, episode 14 of the Capmax Hypecast. Our recording date was January the 2nd, 2016, Saturday. You can find me at Capmax Gaming either on YouTube or Twitch. Capmax Gaming or Capmax_Gaming on Twitch specifically. I was going to say all the links should be on the Podomatic site, but I'm just looking at episode 13. Looks like I forgot to put links there. So hopefully I'll remember that. And on Twitter over at Steven Eider, Steven with a V, EIDHER. Give me a shout out and let me know if you enjoyed this episode and if you want to see future episodes or hear future episodes. We've got a bunch listed. I'm getting. I need a drink here.
Product placement.
Yeah, I tell you. Sponsored by Nestea. No, it's not. But if they want to sponsor us, I'm all for it.
Sponsored by heroin.
Now there's some big money. Yeah. Yeah, everyone, thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a happy Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year,
Kwanzaa?
and maybe Valentine's Day, depending on how long it takes to edit this. But that's one reason why we're on YouTube as well, because that'll be up right away, which is awesome. Cool. So, Kyle and Matt, thank you for being on this episode. It's great to talk to with you guys outside of just a pure Twitter format. And,
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it
I
was
had a
fun.
good time. Yeah, good stuff. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye, Kyle.
Yay.
Bye, viewers. Bye, listeners. Bye. And that's it. All right.
Cool.
Cool. Good fun.
Sorry we ran long. I need to put a timer on my screen so I can see how far we're going into it too. Just I hope it wasn't too long.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
Doesn't bother me any.
Yeah. It's a super lazy Saturday for me, so. Yeah. Good times. Good times. Stop the recording. Let's see who's anyone left in the video.
What I can't wait for is consumer releases of VR.
Yeah. I can't wait for the inevitable flip out that's going to happen in the media about how something about it's horrible and bad and it's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
destroy
well
everything.
it'll be rotten brains, hurting eyeballs, kids playing too much time in the VR porns.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like
kids don't know, man. Porn back in the day is you're lucky to find anything. Now it's just.
Yeah, it was always an old magazine in the middle of the forest. It's like, what's this?
Right.
Oh my God!
That was the blurry channel and the really high channels up.
Yeah.
Or in the roof of the barn.
Yeah, or somebody had a dad that just had millions of something, and
then he didn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna cut the live feed now, so everyone in the chat, thanks for stopping by. We have Lexi and Wolfgasp, aka us. So everyone, thanks for being there.
Thanks guys.
And we'll see you guys on Twitch or Twitter or YouTube. So stop the broadcast, and yeah, see you guys around.